we've got this match right here for you guys, and we're going to find out where we're going to be playing. It's best of 3, so we'll have 3 maps picked total. It's going to be 2 bans, 1 for each team, then 2 picks, 1 for each team, and then 2 bans. Then we'll have our decider map.
Yeah, it's a different format than we've been going with for a while.
Well, because it's best of 3, so...
Yeah. I do like that format, because we were talking about it yesterday when we were really starting things off about how the decider is more strategy, and your map actually means a lot more now. Back in the day when it was 4 bans in a row,
yeah,
you'd have one of your favorite maps get taken out in the bans most likely. Now, when you're able to pick after only 2 maps being removed from the pool, your map actually, it's consequential if you're winning or losing your map.
At the same time, it is counterweighted by the fact that we have only 7 maps in the map pool, as opposed to in the past, way past, we had 9. So yeah, there was more diversity and options as a team. And if you could keep maps secret, then you could potentially counterpunch things pretty heavily. But I don't know. It's definitely a good balance right now for the best of 3 with the way that we have the picks right after the first bans.
So it looks like we'll be starting things off on Oregon?
Yep, it seems that way.
Seems that way.
And Oregon, I think, is a fantastic map in the current meta for one reason only. It's extremely balanced. It is the least defender-sided map that I know of off the top of my head, or at least it's pretty high up there, and it's coming close to a solid 50%. Not exactly, but around 51%, but that is fantastic to see in the meta that we're in right now. Because of that, we're going to have a good contest, I'm sure. And with both of these teams being very aggressive, well, in the past.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. This is really interesting because in the past, Rogue had the reputation of being a very aggressive team, one of the more aggro teams in North America. They would take their fights, they would win their fights. That was their mainstay. I don't know if I would call them, I don't know if I'd put them in that hole anymore. I think they're totally, they're a very different squad. But that comes down mostly, in my opinion, to their performance as of late. And I don't know. Could change when they actually start being really present. You know, the thing is, the reason you might be wondering why we're so critical of Rogue, and it's because, I mean, they have so much potential.
Yeah.
They used to be just an undisputable titan in the region, and it's been a while. It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, and there was also a lot of hype for them coming out of USN, the finals. It was the first showing with Vertical, new roster change, obviously different competition level, different scenario, different...
They still won it.
Exactly. They won the whole tournament. It was the first LAN that roster had ever won before, which was enormous for them. Granted, it wasn't a full Pro League LAN, but...
Substantial.
There was a lot of hype around the team and a lot of expectations set upon them after seeing that kind of performance and that kind of meshing with Vertical with the rest of the roster off the jump.
I think a lot of people were saying, Rogue's back.
Yeah.
Here they are, and it had to do with the vertical roster change as well. Much like how Reciprocity has been playing lately. I mean, Reciprocity just beating out Ninjas in Pajamas, and a lot of people are saying their roster change was a huge kick in the pants to launch them forward and give them the tenacity that they needed to get these wins. One thing that I really do like to see from Rogue, and this is awesome, is look at the smiles on their faces. They're going into this, I think, with a good mindset. You could tell just by their facial expressions. And that's exactly what they need to have for a match like Immortals. So, we'll load into Oregon. First map of this best of 3, and find out who's going to be the one to end up on top. Immortals starting on attack, Rogue starting on defense. Because of that, Rogue get the first ban.
Well, we were talking about Oregon and how both of these teams have played aggressive in the past, and we just had an Oregon matchup yesterday on the Bravo stream, which was Mocket against Liquid. 2 teams I also would have pegged as being extremely aggressive on Oregon, and yet it turned into 5v5s with 20 seconds left in 75% of the rounds. So I'm curious to see if Rogue will stay in that kind of a shell that they were in yesterday against SSG, or if they're going to try and flex out a little bit more and try and be the showstoppers they need to be in this situation, as it is do or die.
Yeah. I think a lot of teams will slow down when they come to events like this, and we've noticed that actually a lot. I mean, in that previous match, for example, Reciprocity put themselves up 6-0, and then they started slowing down because they got a little too cautious. It does happen, and they won it, so that's all that really matters. But yeah, it's good to see when teams don't let themselves get pushed out of their own game style. So we're going to have ban phase concluded now. Maverick, Habana, Mira, and Maestro. Pretty standard set here. On Oregon, the Hibana is a little abnormal and interesting to see, but not too crazy. That's for sure. It's going to make defending the basement a whole lot easier. It's also going to make defending top floor easier because in order to open up that closet, you will have to rush your thermite into the closet. This is very dangerous. The Hibana can open up safely from outside on the balcony, and now no longer an option for either team. Going to be interesting how that plays out. It's possible that that ban was specifically targeted at maybe trying to catch somebody off guard, C4 from below when they're attacking the top floor, or something along those lines, or they're just trying to force people to push into the main lobby to open up that drop down where you can shoot them from kitchen if nobody's cleared west, or meeting hall, or maybe just top of laundry stairs. Who knows? We'll see. But it does force more commitment on the hard destructor side.
Having both the Hibana and the Maverick ban will help facilitate defenses downstairs in a more turtle aspect. Yesterday, while we were seeing Oregon, we saw it come out twice, at least here on the Bravo stream, and teams, I believe, went 4 for 15 downstairs through 2 different maps. And it was because they really tried to invest into a pretty spread-thin roam game upstairs and a couple hard holds inside of meeting, but when you lose the Hibana and the Maverick, that means if you full reinforce both meeting hatches and the front hatch, they've got to make a call. It helps you turtle a little bit nicer downstairs and might turn the tide in changing that 4 for 15 a little more even ground in a 50-50 like we're talking about heading into the map.
Immortals going to be going for a tower clear first things first, and that means they're probably going to want to take onto those north windows. So they've got control of tower. They don't need to worry about being flanked from the north windows, at least not directly from tower. Of course, there is technically attic, but since there's a rotation hole and not a reinforcement right here, as you can see Navi's looking at, that means that Immortals will have control of attic along with tower. So it's a 2-for-1 essentially, and all of the flanks have been isolated again on the north windows. There is somebody playing inside a meeting hall though. Looks like that's going to be Bert, and he's going to go undroned, going for a free kill. That's nice, and I'm sure Rogue are happy that they were given such an early present in this match. I have no idea what Immortals was thinking there, not droning out meeting hall before they pushed it.
Well, you can see 2 more drones come filing in through that door from the stage. They'll reassess the location of Vertical up on stage, currently playing in behind the podium, and slowly creeping his way towards the middle of meeting hall, trying to ascertain an angle onto that doorway. Pre-fires come out, not going to land, and Vert's main job here is to be the bait, and for some reason, again, Bullet not paying any attention. Finally, they'll connect. Bullet will eventually trade out Vertical, but a lot of damage done in the process. He was trying to bait in for Eclipse to peek in from that pantry rotate at the same time.
Well, Vertical goes down, but from behind, it's easily to finish off the final HP of Bullet. And now Rogue back in the man count lead. An excellent setup here from Easily, too. He could get a pretty easy kill, but oh no, the Jackal marks. He'll be forced back to the main lobby. Good rotation and reaction there from Easily. There's nobody to cut him off here at the main lobby, so he should be able to make it back to site. But it looks like he wants to bait for as long as possible. Overall, a very triumphant roam round from Rogue, but it could have been even better if Bert had been landing his shots in the right moment. Twitch was wearing that skin again, man. It's that freaking skin.
That skin.
It must have disoriented him, and I honestly don't blame him. We have see, here's the thing, guys. We have the outlines. We can see the silhouette of the enemy, and it's obvious to us, but it's not. They don't have that. Easel's gonna get another one. That's M King going down. 2 for him in the round, and the roam from Easily is more than successful.
Grabs 2 pick on the roam, and Slashlight will finish off Cyber, so it's all PX left alone as the Breacher with the Diffuser are stuck on the roof, with not a lot of options to choose from. Either jump in big window and fall to the toxic gas that will choke you out, and the sea of barbed wire holding in, a multitude of angles being held from over on the kid's side and top white. And the crouch spam comes out from Flash Hug, and he'll finish that one off with ease. It's a near flawless round for Rogue. A better start than they had yesterday, that's for sure.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, a lot of it comes down to how Immortals played it, though. Pushing into meeting hall without droning it.
To be honest, it reminded me of how Rogue has looked so far this season in Pro League.
Yeah.
Taking the gun, making assumptions that certain portions of a map will be safe without droning it, just skipping steps.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened for Immortals. They skipped a whole lot of steps. I'm not sure what they were expecting in that situation, and it mostly falls on the shoulders of Navi's, because as we saw, immediately after he got eliminated, there was a follow-up from the rest of Immortals. But they got distracted. doubling down on the drones that are moving to Meeting Hall doesn't make it so you have more information. It just is unnecessary use of utility. Instead, maybe send one of those drones to clear out underneath tower stairs. They didn't easily, took full advantage, and Rogue put together one of the best roams we've seen on Oregon in a while. That was a very dominant lockout. Following that, easily just walked over to Junk Tower, and hey, look at that, I'm still free as a bird. I can just flank you, and another free kill for easily. So, we'll go downstairs, and Rogue will be on the standard site set so far. They are going to have to go to an offsite if they win this, though. It's worth noting. Tower, kitchen, not easy to defend. That's why this is one of the most balanced in terms of attacker and defender.
I'm interested by the lineup that Rogue has brought here, because it looks like they've gone for at least investing a lot of reinforcements in the meeting for a temporary hold, and we'll have to see if the pressure is too much to handle from Immortals, if they'll all just peel back and anchor up on site, or if they're going to stand and fight inside of meeting for the entirety of the round. But they do have a lot of mobile operators who can maneuver the map quite well, and also the information coming out from, I imagine, Shuttle's bulletproof camera, considering Maestro's banned, and Eclipse with the Valkyrie cameras.
Now, the information from Valkyrie is going to be incredibly important. The fact that Echo's not being brought is quite interesting, especially on the basement defense. But Valkyrie can substitute. And I haven't personally casted a match today where, or a map even today, where Valkyrie has not been banned. That best of 3 that we just casted, Parker and I, Valkyrie's gone the whole time. It's because she's such a powerful operator right now in this meta. Information is so important, and Valkyrie often goes overlooked in the ban phase. You see those Maestro and Echoes get banned out a lot, but people don't really bother with Valkyrie sometimes. There are some teams that do, Reciprocity being one of them. It's Reciprocity's most banned defender, in fact. But, yeah, hit and miss. Depends on who you're playing against. Again, curious that there's a dock in lieu of an Echo. I don't know how I feel about that, especially considering the dock is roaming. I feel like there's potential for both on-site and off-site presence if you're an Echo, but not so much as a dock. Though, he is holding on to box using the drop-down in Meeting Hall, so at least there's that.
Well, it seems like the last round has been a wake-up call for Immortals, as no one is jumping the gun this time around, but they are collecting the same information over and over again without acting upon it.
Also, Slash is rotated into blue, and nobody knows. M-King's going to get caught off guard. It's an easy kill for Slashug, very impressive. He loses a lot of HP, but again, nobody checked this from Immortals, and Slash took full advantage.
There goes Verder on the roam. He's going to get traded out immediately by Navi's up top inside of Attic, so that's your meeting pressure dispatched of. But you've lost another member. Bullet and M-King will both fall in the lack of information once again on the side of Immortals, and you've still got Slash inside of blue right now with a perfect cross of, it looks like Cyber, attempting to rotate back down the tower stairs. Peeks back and forth. No bullets will land as Eclipse will retreat deeper underneath the safety of an unreinforced hallway hatch. Could be popped open at any moment, but IMT struggling right now to make a call on where they want to go. You can see PX just floundering in the back outside, unsure of where he actually wants to push, and it looks like all of Immortals now coalesce inside of meeting. This is going to be a back push through drops, and now PX getting a different call to go back down through blue tunnel and not to contest with Slash. Point blank range with a shotgun. I feel like Slash is going to have the upper hand on that one. Cyber will drop into box, just on the opposite side is Slash, ripping through the soft wall with the shotgun, and Slash down to 5 HP, turns the corner into the waiting arms of the PDW as Cyber. Pressed right up against close is now easily with the MP7. He'll retreat to safety, 8 seconds, and IMT just going to have to send full in the force, and there goes Easily taking down PX, and another one for Easily, a 3K for him, as he stands and fights, holds true inside a supply room, and Rogue will lock out another one. Immortals jumping the gun on round number 1, taking a little too long, a little indecisive on round number 2.
I mean, that clear from Immortals was not really clear. And that's the problem, is they were trying to set up a wall of covering defaults with the drones, then the pushes, right? Standard stuff. And then based on that, if it works, you're going to have a round result that all depends on who's winning their gunfights. But the fact that Immortals just are droning exceptionally, really poorly, there's not much else to say. Rogue are taking full advantage. They're happy, of course, that Immortals are playing the way that they are, but if at any point Immortals start locking things up and working as a unit, I'm sure it'll shut Rogue down pretty heavily, because Rogue are taking a lot of risks. And Immortals just need to cover the eventuality of those gambles that Rogue are taking. So, I don't know. It's weird to see Immortals playing like this, and we'll see if they can correct it. They are going to be bringing a Finka. It's quite interesting. Finka combined with a Ying, that's a lot of kind of X factors that you're going to have to deal with.
Well, the timer stopped, so I'm going to assume we're at a timeout. And I imagine INT would be the ones calling the TAC timeout.
Look at Rogue's faces. I remember when we started this and they had the giant smiles on their faces? They've gotten bigger. Rogue are in a good place. Yeah. That's good to see from Rogue. Looks like we have some technical issues. It's not a technical timeout. Looks like somebody's computer is not having good time. Seems to be Verticals.
As he emerges from underneath the desk.
Yeah, he's back, guys.
On work of his own.
I was wondering where he went. Honestly,
Yeah.
I was really confused. I was like, did they take him away from the desk? I don't know.
Your computer's gorked. You can't be here anymore. You need to leave.
What he's doing with his mouse, it looks like maybe he's got some stutter. Maybe his refresh rate is off or something along those lines, but it's hard to tell. Obviously, all we know is technical issue, so they should have it fixed pretty soon here. One thing I will say is this is actually really good for Immortals, all things considered. Actually, it depends, right? Because if they stew and don't really, start taking this time to focus up, then this is really bad for Immortals. But it depends on how they handle it.
Well, look at the demeanor. Half of them are just silent, looking down. And granted, it's only 2 rounds, but you don't want to get dejected that early.
It's true.
I've seen a lot of emotional series throughout these games, and it seems like the teams that, even when facing tough times, Norengo yesterday down 4-0, they're dancing, they're having fun, they're doing their own little disco party, and they were able to bring it back. I mean, I don't know. As much as Siege is a tactical game and a team game, it is a mental game as well. You have to remain sure of yourself.
Yeah. Confidence is key, and that is the truth. There's a lot of that actually going around at the higher level of Siege play. Some people will lose that confidence. And that's what really makes me happy to see Rogue playing the way that they're playing right now, because they seem to be very focused, very confident, and it's allowing them to put up 2 rounds early on. Look at them, they're still looking, man. Such a good place. Well, we're waiting on what's going on with Vert. Looks like his mouse maybe is the problem, as he just unplugged it. And maybe he'll get a new mouse, or we'll figure out exactly what happened. Maybe it's the extension cable. Who knows? Who knows? Find out in due time, but we're trying to fix it. Maybe that's why Vertical missed that shot when it was Jaeger in first round.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty
easy shot.
A pretty easy shot, and I gotta imagine it might have been the mouse if he's having trouble with it.
It's also interesting that we see a rear stage and tower site come out from Rogue. And not that dining or kitchen is much better by any stretch of the imagination, but tower was also one of the least successful sites yesterday through the international play, at least.
Yeah, it is going to be tower when we actually get into the match. It's gotta go somewhere for your third site. Yeah. May as well be tower. Like I said, better than kitchen usually, and I think it's got a higher win rate as well.
Yeah, as a whole through like the first half of Season 9.
Yeah.
Kitchen is in the tank.
Yeah, because kitchen's not, it's not easy. Tower, on the other hand, it's still not an easy site to defend, but here's the thing. Attackers usually get really stuck when attacking it. A lot of teams struggle attacking tower and don't really know what to do, and what'll happen is they'll linger outside tower and spend inordinate amount of times just waiting for free picks, and they don't come, and then the defense will win based on time alone. But looks like we have everything sorted out, so we'll get right back into the action. Rogue up 2-0 and looking strong.
Defuse as many bombs as they can.
The tower defense, the most crucial portion of this will be T3 control. How long will someone be able to last up there, and who will it be? Debating between Eclipse and Slash right now, based on the off picks that have been chosen.
I want to say Eclipse.
Yeah.
Because usually you see the Jaeger go up there so he can Jaeger juggle in case he needs to.
Slash could be far side with the ACOG.
Maybe.
Off the tower repel.
Yeah. I mean, it could be both for all we know. Sometimes some teams invest 2 into T3.
Yep.
But
by attackers.
there's another Finka Ying combo being brought here from Immortals.
10 seconds remaining.
They're really going for it on that operator selection.
5 seconds remaining.
Finka's going to be really useful here, period, because that's how Finka works. She is just a universally useful operator. Ying, not necessarily the same thing, but she can... I think Ying would be well used to... Oh, wow. Early pick for Slash. That's from the bottom of tower. Oh, no. Is that a construction run out? Did he just get away with it? Oh, no.
He overhealed himself to do it, too.
Oh, that is just unfortunate. Bullet's going to refrag him, though. I think he was going for another peek. Yeah, he was. A little bit of greed there from Slash, but I'm sure his team doesn't mind since he got a kill.
And I mean, you take down the Jackal as well, so it's a very powerful rifle, high rate of fire. You take down the smoke.
Is he doing
as
it?
well. I think he's going for it.
Oh my.
Easily as the smoke, that's a decision, but Vertical will also take down Navis. So you've lost your Jackal, you've lost your Ash, a lot of your fragging power. You still have a lot of utility on the side of Immortals, but your straight up firepower and weaponry is gone.
He might be able to get away with this if he were to commit to it, but he's going to think better of it and decide to just play inside a tower. It's probably the right call, but you want to see him do it though. I don't think, wait, is there anybody on T3?
No, Eclipse was down by meeting. There is no one T3 right now.
We've got nobody, what?
There's a deployable and an ADS up there, but there's...
So one of the strategies you can use to hold T3 is put a smoke on T2 and throw your gas canisters up to the top, but it's very dangerous. And it also relies on smoke not getting picked off. That's got to be why Easily didn't go for the run out. Could see it now, but still a dangerous way to hold this site for sure. Oh, is he gonna... I want to see him do it, man. I want to see him. I want to... But he's not gonna. He's actually gonna eat some damage from PX on Repel, and he will be finished off. Could you imagine if he had just vaulted out and got that double kill? Oh, well, it's done now. And Immortals have control of not only T3, but also T2.
Surprised that Easily exposed himself so hard, especially when the call-out should have come out earlier when Slash died, that they did have a Finka, and his Toxic Babes would have been that much more powerful against anyone overboosted. And there goes Bullet again with the LMG3 on the round for him, and another run out here from Eclipse and Vertical at the same time. Eclipse will garner the kill, low HP, and they've surrendered complete site control. T2, the plant is being attempted now by PX directly on the bomb chassis. And he got Bullet in T3 control, just waiting for anyone to come up. Another one for Bullet as he tacks on. It's up to Vertical now in a 1v2, trying to retreat back through meeting. The diffuser is down, time ticking away, explosions for more visibility. It's Vertical, not a lot of options here. It's the T3 peak, and Bullet will clean it up. Immortals will bring back around on the tower attack, and no coverage of T3 seemed to really be the culprit on that one for Rogue.
Their coverage was meant to be Easily, and that's why he didn't vault the window when he had the opportunity to. He was the linchpin of that round. He needed to stay alive in order to throw his gas canisters up to the top in T3 and deny the entrance from the attackers. But he died. So...
Yeah, it's usually pretty bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's it. That's all it was, though. Easily was supposed to hold both T2 and T3, and he died. After that, the defenders lost control of both. Immortals turned it into a round win. There's nothing else to really be said there. Rogue needed to invest more in the top of tower, period. In the story.
Shuttle 6 picking off a dock to a Rook. The only feasible explanation I can think for that is the impacts.
Dock to a Rook?
Yeah. You don't want impacts on Slash.
I don't know, dude.
Who else has got them?
I guess if you need the impacts, but I don't think you really do. I mean, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what the Rook does. It doesn't really matter. Between Rook and Doc, I don't think it's the end of the world. They're both kind of equally useful, all things considered. I would say Doc is a little bit more practical, but if you think about how Rook works, he is always useful, no matter what. So if we're talking about like long-term, Rook always gets the job done, period. Unless one of your teammates is really lazy and doesn't pick up their armor. But that's unusual at this level. So it does happen though. So yeah, no, I don't know. I guess we've been seeing a lot of Rook, oddly, in this tournament. And I think it just comes down to the fact that, yeah, he's always good. He's got impacts. He's got the MP5. Why not? Also, have you noticed how hard it is to headshot a Rook compared to a Doc?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the elite skin on the Rook or if it's just Rook as a whole.
I think it's Rook as a whole because his silhouette is pretty much, well, it's monochromatic and even on default skin. And whereas you've got with Doc, it's a little bit less so because he's got the white helmet and stuff like that. So it's easier to really notice. But I don't know. That's all just game theory. So we've got Immortals pushing their way towards the main lobby. Jackal's a great operator to have and one that is often banned. But here when he's not banned, he's going to allow you to hunt down those roamers with great efficiency.
Last time around, Immortals tried to attack this objective. They tried to go in for a tower clear through meeting, and it never resulted in anything beyond that, as it just turned into PX stuck alone on the roof in a 1v4. So Immortals here, they've also abandoned their Ying and Finka strategy. They only brought it for one round, possibly knowing that Rogue would be forced off to a tertiary site that would be unfavorable. But I kind of like the lineup for Immortals, especially because those aggressive operators would give you a kickstart. Those type of operators would give you initiative and incentive to push faster and make progressions quicker and give you ease through utility of making progressions through the map faster.
No one's ever used that word in a cast with me.
What? Progression? Tertiary? Incentive? I said a lot of big words there.
Kickstart.
Oh.
I can't believe you missed it.
There we go.
It took you a second. Reasley and the rest of Rogue in a great position right now, especially after Slash is going to take out Cyber. But Bullet with the refrag on a vertical, Slash going for a very aggressive play. This is actually in line with his character so far through this match. He always positions himself in the most trepidatious position possible. It's not a great thing to do regularly, but it has been working against Immortals. We'll see if he makes it work this time. No one's droning him. That's the really tricky thing is that since he's not being droned, he can get away with this. Clip's still playing downstairs on the pulse, and he's looking for a target in that cardiac sensor. Again, the droning from Immortals. Absolutely terrible. Buck from underneath is going to try and force Slash to move, and he will be successful. Slash goes down, Immortals have gained the man advantage, but it's right back to even as Eclipse eliminates Bullet. 3 versus 3, and what a vault from the Twitch and a double for Shuttle! Absolutely insane gunplay. He goes for the third and gets it. Rogue take the round off of Rook's gunplay.
What a great peek there from Shuttle. It was unfortunate because he looked into Generator, saw a shoulder, and looked away at the same time it crossed in front of him. Made the smarter play at the end of the day. Got 2 in a spray on a transfer and pulled out the pistol for the third. A beautiful play there from Shuttle. And you're right on the money. The droning, the information being acquired from Immortals, suspect, subpar, just not good enough. Just not good enough.
Bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bad. It's horrendous.
I don't know. I think the way that Immortals have been playing so far, dude, I remember this match that we had not, 20 minutes ago. Nip versus Reciprocity. Let me tell you about this match. In map 2 and map 3, suddenly, for no conceivable reason, Ninjas in Pajamas weren't there anymore. And right off the bat, we're seeing that with Immortals. This is not Immortals right here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, they're not here yet. They'll find their footing. They'll arrive. I'm sure of it. I'm confident. It's a best of 3.
Yep.
But right this second, they are not present.
Well, it was the same story yesterday, ironically, for another Latin American team in Liquid. They did not start on time against Mocket, and it cost them a map. They weren't... they just looked like they weren't even awake on border on map number 1. They lost 7-2 to Mocket, and it set the tone, and they ended up losing the best of 3.
I want to say that maybe it's just the map. Maybe Immortals just don't like Oregon. The only problem is I have no frame of reference, because Immortals have banned Oregon 4 times throughout this season, and through the qualifiers potentially, and they have played it exactly 0. Which means that there's nothing really to say about Immortals on Oregon. Whereas with Rogue, they have banned it 5 times and lost it once. The only time they played it. So this is a really weird map to be going to for these teams.
For both of them.
For both of them, yeah. And right now, Rogue are making it work. One thing that really stands out to me, the way the Rogue is playing, they just don't care, man.
No.
You can see it. We saw it on their faces going into this match, and you could see it in their gameplay. Rogue just doesn't give a hoot. It's obvious, plain as day.
And that's a big difference compared to just yesterday against their game, or in their game against Space Station. They looked very pent up, very serious, very worried.
Why do you think they lost so decisively?
They're getting in their own heads, and it seems like it wasn't even, because we've talked about this team over and over again, and how they're misstepping in Pro League right now, and how they have the potential to do so much better.
Yeah, Rogue's amazing.
It seems like it's a mentality thing.
And Shuttle in that last round showed us what Rogue is capable of. I mean, those flicks were insane. And that's what everyone on Rogue is capable of. They have that capacity. And it's awesome to see it happen. That was an amazing round from Shuttle, and it instilled, I'm sure, a lot of confidence into every single player on Rogue. So that's great to see. A nice setup here from Rogue in Meeting Hall, by the way. The Mute Jammers, the Yokai drones, trying to support Vertical, given the best chance he can at roaming up here.
You've also got that Yokai inside of looking in towards Pantry now. There is a flank hold inside of Kitchen currently, holding off on the right side of that impact rotate. But you've got a 3-man stack downstairs with 2 Nitro Cells and Slash's Toxic Babes. That's a good amount of utility, especially if they try and use the Adrenal Surge on the Finka from Navi's to try and push in on a site execute.
He's entering here with nobody droning for him. Navi's, again, blind entry. He'll get hit by the Yokai drone. This is ill-advised for Immortals. Vertical's just going to play safe because look at the time. He doesn't need to make an aggressive play. All his team needs to do is wait. They have counterplant utility in abundance, and they only have 43 seconds.
They've elected to go for a complete ignoring of Vertical inside of meeting, and this might just be their demise. A Claymore, though, Vertical,
How did he not?
Down.
Wow.
M-King will clean up Vertical, and that's your meeting hold taken care of now just by lazily allowing him to walk into a Claymore. But with 26 seconds, the Toxic Babe will start choking out everyone in Immortals as they all stack upon themselves on the main stairwell. Smoke grenades to come and disrupt the purview of all defenders. All that's left open is a peek from the hallway, and Navi's going to drop straight in with the LMG, unload into Slash like another one peeking him, and Eclipse will fall. That's 3 for Navi's on the round, and Shuttle will trade 1 back onto M-King. The plant going down from PX at the depths of the laundry bin. Siren will shut down Shuttle. The Nitrocell will not connect. It's all easily alone, circling around inside of supply room, and Navi's with another one. The LMG on the Finka for Immortals seems to be the difference maker for them, and you gotta wonder if Vertical had just looked down how that push would have looked like with pressure on the backside.
The counterplant utility was there for Rogue. Immortals, though, had enough to disrupt. Navi's was the key player of that round, managing to win it almost single-handedly. I gotta be honest, putting in so much work as the Finka, not only buffing up his teammates, but also landing the shots that were necessary. That's what you gotta see in order to get the win. That's what Rogue have been doing so far. It's good to see Immortals answer back, finally. That's 2 for them, but their most decisive round just happening. We'll go to Laundry again, following Rogue's defeat in just the round prior. I think this is a good call on Oregon. You see a lot more of repeats because there's only the 2 sites that are viable, really.
Yeah.
You need to get wins where you can. And if you're not able to defend the basement or the top floor, either of them really, regularly, then you're not going to have a good time on defensive Oregon, period. And you'd have to get really lucky to be able to bounce back. So Rogue sticking to their guns. I think it's the right call. This is the last round, the first half, though. So if you're a Rogue fan, I bet you certainly hope it is the right call. The roamers were...
New feet up. 10 seconds
that
left.
Claymore, man.
Yeah.
I wanted to skate around it by just generalizing roamers, but it was just vertical on the roam as far as I could tell inside a meeting hall.
Yep.
And wow, I cannot believe he didn't see that.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
It's pretty standard Claymore, too. Especially off
Yeah.
reinforcement tucked inside a pantry. That is your typical Claymore spot. And really, it's supposed to be a sound cue when they shoot it to let you know there's a flank coming. It's not supposed to kill someone.
It's like a barricade.
Yeah.
Like just a regular door or window barricade like the one Cyber just vaulted through. It's a sound cue, man.
Yep.
It's a visual cue, or a visual impairment, and then a sound cue. Claymore's just a sound cue. It also technically, I guess, a visual impairment, and that makes them look in a certain direction. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. Surprised that he didn't see it. I guess he was the one visually impaired in that moment. Navi's going to be pushing his way into Garage, and this is a good amount of control because what you could do is isolate Classroom and main lobby, just by taking control of this one location. It's also going to cut off rotation from the laundry stairs just by opening up that wall, and that's going to deter any retakes of the laundry stairs from Rogue. Good play to have.
Well, they swapped the setup a little bit, too. They've double reinforced the pantry wall this time. Instead of giving themselves the rotate, it'll be up to Immortals to see if they even want to push in and contest that and open it up, or, again, leave the Claymore front door this time in the middle of Split. They've also added easily on a pulse this time instead of on a mute, and they've put him inside of meeting to join Vertical. So there's a little more pushing power to bust out of Split when that side execute comes out from Immortals.
Adrenaline surge incoming.
It's taking a while. Half the round already transpired. There was no real west clear from Immortals. They kind of just assumed that it was empty.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? And that's not a great thing to do, but they got away with it because it was empty. So at least there's that. Rogue are just waiting. This is going to be much like the last round where it's going to come down to the counterplant utility and who's fragging out aside from that. The drop down finally being opened up and the rotation is cut off in meeting hall, but there are players in tower and attic for the defense.
You see those silhouettes up top inside of attic, and it looked like T2 looking to the windows, maybe shoot over towards the top of the armory stairs, but
yeah.
PX isn't in range of any bullets that would land in.
Could be T3 even.
True. 3-stack now on the main stairs, and you've got all the frag grenades coming out, and the smoke grenades. Eclipse is watching for a back push, but his nitro cell will be crucial. Trying to delay this plant last time as 2 nitro cells were launched from Rogue, and neither are connected on the intended targets in the midst of a plant attempt. 1 smoke, try and bait on any toxic babes and utility, but you also got Shuttle still up with Yokais. PX is going to push in for the immediate plant attempt, and a Toxic Babe will land directly at his feet, forcing him off. So good utility counterbalance there from Slashhug to push back the initial attempt from Immortals. A Nitro Cell being ripped, but not launched out just yet from Easily. They're back in the pocket, playing it behind the clock, but here comes the drop from Immortals, and they're just going to both send it down behind the island. PX retreats to his initial attempted plant spot, but now Navi's overhealed on the Adrenal Surge. Will start pushing through. He's got 2 lined up for him. Grabs 1 with the LMG, and a second one as Easily and Eclipse both fall. Trying to go for 3, but Slashhug will win it out with the shotgun point blank range. The plant is still going down. PX interrupted. This can't go off just yet, and Shuttle Vertical coming in above the hatch, and Bullet with a nasty shot will shut that down. Shuttle in a 1v3 as the Yokai was shot out, trying to use the second blast to disrupt the plant attempt. We've got Cyber inside a classroom, and Shuttle will notice the Claymore this time. Use it as the sound cover, wait for the drones. Still has a little bit of time to work with, but he has 3 targets to find. One of the depths of supply, 1 top main, who's battling with back and forth. He goes down off Bullet, pulls out the bearing, but unaware of the man inside of classroom. Cyber, point blank range, with the other secondary SMG that is most popular. And it'll be Immortals drawing things even as we head into the second half.
That went about as poorly as it could have gone for Rogue. Shuttle did not play his Yokai drone very well. He hit the diffuser as it was being planted, but not waiting for the 0-0-0 meant it didn't matter. Immortals were able to get back on. You saw there for just a moment, Slash almost landed enough shots to deny the plant, and if it weren't for the laundry bins, I'm sure he would have. It probably would have been an easy denial there, but it's not to be. Slash missed, and the Yokai drones were not played perfectly by Rogue. Following that, we saw the Jaeger in main lobby had another opportunity, but it just wasn't enough.
Beautiful shot by the Jackal. I'm pretty sure it was Cyber that round, or no, Bullet that round.
I know it's kind of a bit of a reverse, but as soon as I saw the Jaeger in main lobby, I just started thinking of Renton! Renton! Renton, he has to plant!
We had a Renton moment yesterday. It was interesting. I think it was the Norengo Penta game.
I think I've had 1 or 2 Renton moments, but I've been lucky enough to actually cinch it. There was one moment way back when I actually used to play, and it was a clubhouse. Serenity was on the disable, and I dropped right in front of Big Window by Billiards to deny him disabling the diffuser. Yeah, but it was a bit of a Renton moment because I almost missed it, dude. If he hadn't faked, I would have missed it. But yeah,
I remember that.
A bit of a Renton moment there for the Jaeger in main lobby from Rogue. That's the half done, though, and it's an expected result. 3-3 on Oregon, that makes sense. So, still anyone's match.
So, I'm not sure if Bullet botched something or what happened, but he's got an MP5K on his mute setup with 0 attachments. Iron sights, no.
I'll be honest with you, man. Sometimes the game does just randomly change your equipment. Like, that actually does happen.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with you. It's just the game will sometimes do that. You gotta be careful. Every time you go into a round, to double check that your equipment hasn't been randomly swapped, because that happens to me all the time. I don't know if it's happened to you before.
Yep, plenty of times.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really unfortunate for Bullet, but I'm sure he can make it work.
I mean, the iron sights in the MP5K, they're bulky, but the actual reticle is not terrible.
Also, yeah, there's little to no recoil on the gun, so a lack of a barrel is probably not going to be the worst thing. Oh, we'll see, though. I mean, he hasn't gotten into a fight just yet. It's been a decently efficient clear here from Rogue, and they're actually going to get a pick as well. There goes Bullet, by the way, so as it turns out, it was crippling for him, as he will be gone now.
Unfortunate. It was also Cyber playing up in T3, looking out through windows, and Vert looked like he was going to get an engagement with him, but Cyber jumped off before they could really come to blows, and now Vert is reassessing. Ooh, pre-fires from Cyber, almost connecting onto the shoulders of Vertical. Whips past the window, but none will connect.
If Vertical gets somebody to drone out Meeting Hall, he could have gotten a kill there. The smoke of N-King was very exposed. He was playing by sandbags, but it's not to be. M-King will rotate. Vertical's playing it safe, and I think it's the right call in this scenario.
Vertical indecisive as to whether or not he should drone this or have someone else do it for him, but it looks like he's abandoning the entire tower push as a whole and pushing him with the rest of his team, who've all coalesced towards main lobby, and they have the 5v4 single-man advantage. Plenty of smokes and plenty of utility. Well, with 50 seconds left, you might want to start baiting things out just about now. Bulletproof camera will be dispatched by Vertical with the remote detonation, and now it'll come down to the utility on the side of Immortals. Quell this storm that is incoming. First smoke grenades coming out, and a Toxic Babe in reciprocation as Vertical is holding Cyber's rotated the back. They still have the man advantage on site on a 4v3 on the execute. The Toxic Babe was taking down a decent amount of health as Slashug and Eclipse tried to push in for the initial plant attempt. No such luck as this Cold War at the back of tower continues on. Still stacking on top of the main stairs right now. No real progression as the asphyxiating bolt will slowly push M-King out of his desired position inside of Closet. The plant attempt coming out now from Eclipse as Slash is covering through the smoke. Lots of shots, but none will connect. And actually, as I say that, the MP5 SD will be responsible for downing off Slash, but 2 kills in response from Rogue. Slash will be cleaned up, and Navi's with the second one with the MPX from down below inside of the laundry rotate. It's a 2v3 to work out of, trying to rush straight up the stairs, slashing through a Claymore as Navi's. He's got one on his hard wall, directly on his right, in the depths of short hallway. Will rip right through Navi's. Last man alive is PX, and in the midst of a crossfire, Shuttle will grab 2 with the L85, dispatch them easily, and that will be Rogue, again, taking the lead.
They started off the first half very well, and going into the second, that was a pretty dominant attack onto the bottom floor, but equally dominant to the ones that Immortals gave us just a round prior. Twice in a row, in fact. So, the question is, will Rogue be able to do it the same way? Get 2 wins onto the basement attack. One thing that's really curious to me about that round was, exactly as you said, the Cold War, I like that by the way, between Vertical and Cyber by tower. Because Vertical was on that flank watch for a solid minute, maybe minute 20.
In that range, yeah.
Yeah, in that range. And he accomplished nothing there. And of course he's the Ashe, you know, his utility is sparse, but at the same time, there's things that you can accomplish if you're focusing elsewhere. And that was a little bit of a misallocation. We've seen this a lot from teams actually recently. It actually happened in NIP versus Reciprocity the match prior. When on Consulate, Reciprocity failed to drone their player in to clear up the D roamers on Consulate. They were playing in admin office when defending the actual basement. So if we had seen somebody drone Vertical into tower there, it could have been an easy double kill. M-King was in meeting hall. You take out the Jaeger of Cybera inside of, or Cyber inside of tower, and then you make the push into meeting hall, you've got an easy double kill for your Valkyrie, and that's just one person taking 30 seconds away from something else to drone for a teammate. It would be nice to see from Rogue, but all in all, they won the round, so it doesn't really matter.
Identical lineup coming out from Rogue this time, and
Attackers have
the biggest advantage for that, like you said,
Did they have the cap out last time?
they did.
Oh, okay.
Rocking the cap. Like you said, the lack of information, it seems to be the story for both sides right now on Oregon. No one really taking the time to be efficient and thorough with their droning. It's a lot of assumptions being made, and this one turns out to be correct for the second round in a row as Vertical spots out the windows being popped up by Cyber at the top of T3, and he's not going to engage with it, and Cyber will bounce out immediately as well. So seems like a mirror image to the start of last round. It'll be up to Immortals to try and respond and not all die inside of meeting as Bullet and M-King have already taken a lot of damage.
Yeah, dangerous for Immortals. You can see the droning here from Slashug, doing the support work, doing it well. Cyber's gonna open up his own angles in the meeting hall. Somebody finally brings out the shotgun to his system. That's good to see. It's M-King just inside the meeting. Pretty much just identical setup from Immortals as much as it was an identical operator lineup from Rogue. I mean, seeing a lot of the same from last round here. The only difference, I guess, is that we haven't had an early pick for the attackers just yet. So, see if that changes. Easily looking for the frag. Cyber's gonna push his way up to T3. That's dangerous. But again, if nobody from the attacker commits to droning this out, then he could be a very powerful position to play. Shuttle will get the early pick that we were waiting for. His bullet goes down. That is unfortunate. He was, wait, what? He was peeking out of... Why are you peeking out of meeting hall entrance? Or meeting hall split, I like that. I have no idea. A run out by tower for Cyber. He's baiting people into him. It might work to his disadvantage as they have found his location because he broadcasted it.
hailstorm of bullets, but it's Cyber winning it out onto Vertical. They have to evade the OTS-03 from Slashhug, who's now turned his attention back towards the bottom of the main stairs. So they level things at a 4v4, and Cyber still has that pushing power to be able to erupt out of meeting as soon as the plant attempt comes through. One smoke again to bait things out. The asphyxiating bolt will finish off M-King, and there goes Slash, threading the needle in through the bookshelves to find the head of PX. Spots coming out, free fires from Navi's will not connect on the head. He'll do a 360 to move his way out of meeting, but he's the last man standing, and it won't even matter, as Eclipse will shut that down with ease, and Rogue on back-to-back rounds will now add some separation, some breathing room. They are 2 rounds away from taking the first map in this do-or-die elimination game.
We've seen both teams struggle to defend the basement. The only one having any success was Rogue in the very first attempt, but they lost 2 in a row, and now Immortals have lost 2 in a row. Because of that, an adjustment. Going upstairs to dorms, the right call for Immortals. Might have saved them a little bit of time if they had gone here earlier, but it's probably not going to matter in the long run, because if they win here on the top floor, guess where they have to go?
Back downstairs, unless you really want to try tower off rip when you have the option to go downstairs.
And because of that, this is an awesome moment for a tactical timeout, because you either have to defend downstairs and try again with a new strategy, or you're going to try to go to one of the offsites, which is going to require some planning, some thought. Of course, you've got to be ready to defend those offsites going into a match, but it's always best to do things on the fly, because you can adjust the strategy that you're planning for your opponent and how your opponent is handling these rounds. We'll see if Immortals are capable of putting something together here with this tactical timeout. It will finally expire, and we'll get back into the action. Top floor is the option for Immortals.
3rd consecutive round for identical operators for Rogue. They seem to have found their universal fit that they like to take to any bomb site they're comfortable with.
I think this is actually a really good 5-man lineup for any side on Oregon, to be honest. I mean, Glaz is always good here. We have seen, this is really interesting, because Glaz was not banned, which is worth noting, but we have seen Rogue bring Glaz before in the Rogue versus SSG match, and it was on the 2nd map where they were playing against SSG in that series. It was yesterday. Rogue got 7-2'd. Glaz landed like no shots as Glaz in that match. Like 1 or 2, maybe. But he was having a bad day. And he's not having a bad day here. He is showing up and then some, doing some great work as the Glaz, but not only just as the Glaz. He had a good defensive half as well. So it's good to see that that was a one-off. You gotta wait for the round to start, obviously. It's good to see that that was a one-off from Rogue, and that they've now woken up. And Slash in particular having a really good match is awesome. He's a good Glaz when he's on.
Yeah, when he's on, Slash is a very powerful Glaz, and he knows when to pick his spots to strike. He doesn't just always wide peek with the fluorescent scope up. He knows how to protect himself and keep himself alive, because he knows the magnitude of his utility and what it can do for an entire push, especially when the whole team is bringing smokes.
So, Immortals, a lot of roamers here. See only 2 anchors currently, M-King and PX. Everybody else far field doing their best to delay for as long as possible. You've got the smoke and the echo. Some great counterplant utility here, as well as potentially C4 from below from Navi's. Rogue have been lazy on their drone. Not as lazy as Immortals, but also lazy. They're not going to be this lazy, or so lazy that they'll miss Navi's, though, in the basement. So here we go. Navi's position discovered. He will decide to rotate. That is the correct call. Because he rotates, it'll be more of a hunt for Rogue, and potentially a lot of time wasted.
Coming into the midway point of the round, and a good spot out there on Navi's Valkyrie camera. It's a pretty typical one on top of the master bedroom closet. The thermite charge will come out and completely erupt a giant hole. I won't finish Thermite's tagline, but a giant hole in the generator wall, and you've got a double hold downstairs right now for Immortals. You got 1 Nitro cell in the hand of Navi. Cyber was also providing support, and he seems to be creeping his way up the bathroom hallway to initiate a flank through main lobby. 2 flank watch right now for Rogue in towards Raj, and that will be Vertical shutting down Cyber. An immediate refrag, though, from Navi's as smokes detonate and plume out in the hallways, disrupting all visibility, but Toxic Babes and Reciprocation will rebuff the initial attempt from Rogue, and PX left to throw out another one to continue the pressure onto Rogue and push them through.
Immortals in a good position here. They have the utility still. The counter utility from the exothermic charges and the fire bolts are going to be huge. Now he takes down Slashhog with a C4. That's the cover through the smokes. Shuttle's trying to come up from behind, but he's got to hurry. The rest of his team are getting taken out one by one. The Legion Mines and the barbed wire are going to shut him down, and the last player easily will also be eliminated as the Immortals sweeps things up and takes their first defensive round.
Bring it back within one, and after Vertical died, he DC'd, so we are more than likely gonna have to wait this out unless he can get back in quickly.
Looks like we're having a pause here. So we're just gonna wait, find out what the problem is. It was Vertical again, so I don't know what's going on, but this is the second time we've had problems with Vertical's set up. So it looks like it was out straight up game crash. So this isn't Vertical's fault. So you know, the game crashed for him. I think the last time it was a mouse problem, and they corrected that one. So lots of different issues here. It was a good moment though for everybody to again catch their breath. We've seen a lot of those in this match so far. Second total, I suppose, not including tactical timeouts. So after winning the top floor, Immortals will have to go downstairs, and they, well, haven't been very successful there, but it's been one-sided.
It's been the trend well, I almost said this entire week, but it's only been a day and a half. Feels like it's been a lot longer than that. But anyway, yesterday, that was the trend. Like I said, about 4 for 15 yesterday on basement defenses on Oregon, but Immortals having, like you said, one upstairs. They're forced off of dorms. They have a decision to make. Do they go tower or do they go laundry? I guess they feel they can correct the mistakes that have been made on laundry more than try and flesh out a whole new strategy and give that a run on tower.
Tower hard, man.
Yep. It's not the easiest site in the world.
No, it's one of the more difficult ones. Yeah.
As we saw by Rogue's attempt at it.
Yeah.
Lose one little piece of control and all of a sudden it all dominoes and you can't get back.
I think that was more Rogue misallocating control though. Like they put so much on Easly's shoulders, and as soon as he was gone, round over. Well, I'm sure we'll get a chance to see what Immortals has for us on tower. Either that or this match will be over quickly. Rogue, they've had such good attacks under the basement. They've got the right lineup for this. The bottom being banned, the Thermite is the only real option. So, I mean, technically, I guess you could bring a Maverick, but that would be really, really hard to open the main lobby drop with. I feel like it's probably one of the most exposed drop downs that you open up, period.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a fun time doing that.
No.
27 crossfires you'd have to work. You'd have to get the whole team watching a flank for you.
Let's imagine that the attackers haven't cleared out everything. And let's think about the angles. They see 1 upper main stairs, 2 lower main stairs. 3 and 4 are going to be the both meeting hall entrance sides. Potentially garage even, and then kitchen hallway. They can also open up above you.
Yep.
And I guess that's it. So that's like 7.
Has left the area of
Cyber, he's going for it.
It works.
I don't know how that worked, but it did. And he takes out Vertical. Okay then.
The man with a lot of issues right now as far as technicalities are concerned for Vertical, and he'll be the first to fall, but easily realizing that Cyber's backed off.
That timing.
Barely. Oh, wow. Bullet's going to land that shot all the way from small tower, so I guess he caught him on the push out on the rappel.
It's crazy.
Beautiful shot there from Bullet. I wonder if he's still rocking the iron sights on that MP5K or if he's corrected himself and added some attachments. Nonetheless, it's a 2-man advantage here for Immortals very early on in this round, and we talked about how the basement defense is not the easiest to hold this week so far at the SI-19, but this might be a different way of doing it. Just get up in their face and don't even worry about defending the actual objective. They all start falling like dominoes, and Navi's will clean things up with an immediate 3K. Shuttle, Slash, and Eclipse all drop and evaporate into thin air, and Immortals take the fight to Rogue and end up winning it.
Wow. Absolutely dominant round there for Immortals, and if I'm not mistaken, a perfect one as well. The aggression not being stopped from Rogue, and because of that, they will be stomped. Now, tower, the next defense here, this is where we should see Rogue take it back, bring it to that 6-5. But we've been surprised before. And I seriously doubt that Immortals are going to make the same mistake that Rogue did when Rogue went to their defense of the tower, which was, again, they didn't control T3.
Yeah.
I get the idea. I get the plan is like gas canisters, throw them up from below. But it's just such a risk.
It is. And it's more soft cover than it is actual physical cover of the entirety of T3.
Look at how top-heavy Immortals is right now. Navi's in Bullet, and that's it.
Yeah, Cyber's doing a couple things here and there on these crazy runouts, but other than that, I mean, that's 25 kills through 10 rounds for 2 people.
Yeah, meanwhile, Rogue have a very even split. Lots of teamwork going on there. Everybody contributing.
Talked about yesterday how Fnatic were very interested in targeting individual members of Reciprocity, whether it was going to be Laxing or Skies, and whoever was going to be having the better day, that's who they would focus on, drone out, and 4-man clear. Maybe I'm going to start adopting a little bit of that for Rogue here, and find some of these top fraggers on Immortals, considering they're the ones doing the most work.
And shut them down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of those top-heavy matches I've seen in a while. So if they get wind of that and decide to commit to exactly what you're talking about, then heck yeah, that could be an advantage. Could be also a free kill here for PX if he, oh, he didn't see it. We can see the silhouette, the head peeking over the top of that truck, but PX unable to notice it. And because of that, he misses out on an opportunity. You can see the hands now. Thatcher pushing his way towards garage. That could be a kill. He's probably making the call for his teammate. Cyber is, though, distracted right now by his opponents on the north rappel. It's not an easy situation to play. T3 of tower is essential control, and he's just playing to survive, not going for those picks. You can see, though, the supporting cast of M-King and PX, that's 3 people to hold Tier 2 and Tier 3 of tower. And that's much more investment than we saw from Rogue.
Every possible angle up to the top has been opened up now. Every window, every floorboard, and easily will start things off. Clips immediately traded out, though, by the MP5 SD of PX. Candelos will rain out from Slashhog as he's repelled on the T2 windows. Diffuser in hand as well as he maneuvers his way back and forth out of the purview of the windows up top. And oh, aggressive peek coming out from Cyber. He's continuing to do so back and forth.
Oh.
And it will be his demise as Cyber will clean that up. Sorry, get cleaned up by easily.
That's 2 for him in the round. He's going for a 3rd, but just barely misses out on that opportunity. T3 is clear, though. Because of that, Slash just worked his way in, and he's going to take down PX. M-King refrags onto easily, but gets refragged himself because he lingers outside. Slash above will take down Navi's. What a round from Rogue, all off of those early picks from easily.
Well, you can see Ranger doing his little hand signals. Not the Norengo hand signals, some different ones, and he's signaling for a timeout. Rogue on the brink of getting...
I don't even know what it means, man.
I have no clue.
But I know how to do it, but I don't know what it means.
Rogue on the brink of wrapping up map number 1. Now
we're all
doing
distracted doing the hand thing, the Nora hand thing. I don't know what it is. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. All right, so tactical timeout from Rogue.
Yep.
And that's a good time, I think, to take their tactical pause because they just won a round. They put themselves on match point. If they win the subsequent round, it's over. But they have to attack top floor. They haven't won this one yet.
Nope.
This is the go-to site for Immortals right now.
And this is the difference maker. Will it tilt in the side of the attackers on a 4-2 split on this half, or we will return to a 3-3 split and proceed into overtime, at which point coin flip will not call that. It'll be probably a top 4 defense from each team, most likely successful, and then someone's got to convert, and most recently, it was Immortals that was the most successful in a downstairs defense.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. That depends on if we get to OT. Here's the thing that I'm looking at immediately.
Yeah.
Rogue just took their tactical timeout, and in a tactical timeout, you're allowed to put together strategies, and if Rogue can establish themselves a really powerful strategy early on and put it into the match being over, I mean, then we go to map number 2. I think the fact that they were given that time, those 30 seconds to take that tactical timeout and plan out a strat, it's either going to fall flat on its face or we're going to see a decisive round for Rogue. That's what I'm projecting here. They have very drastically changed their lineup. There's no more Glaz. So, yeah, it's clear that Rogue have a very specific strat to take this hold.
Still extremely top-heavy on the scoreboard, but the depth players on Immortals getting into some Some interesting decisions as far as gunfights are concerned. Last round on the tower, just trying to get extremely aggressive again. Trying to play off that aggression that they garnered on the previous round defending downstairs, where they were roaming upstairs and the whole fight was centered around meeting hall as opposed or compared to the objective.
Attackers recover
Lots
the
of roaming.
diffuser. Attackers' objective is to
discussed.
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Immortals know that they need to be aggressive to keep a presence on the majority of the map. Else they run the risk of Rogue setting up and executing with relative ease. We've been seeing a lot of teams going that way on the defense, and it's become the meta, and it also will get Navi's the first kill of this round. Eclipse going down, and lo and behold, it's the hard breacher. That's about as bad as it gets for Rogue. The only comparable pick would have been Capital, but it's not even close in this scenario. No hard breaching available to the attack means that they're going to have to completely change their strategy in all likelihood. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought the hard breacher. So I'd say the right call here right now for Rogue is to go for a tower north windows take, because you don't need any hard destruction for that. But that's on them to make that call. Realize that's the only really good option in this scenario.
Well, like you said, it's the only option they have. There's no way you're pushing through the master hallway corridor in a single door and having success with that.
Sometimes it takes teams a long time to figure it out, though, and it's how much time will Rogue waste? It looks like they've already figured it out.
That's what you'd expect from a very experienced team like Rogue as well.
Located by
Yeah.
attackers.
They're not a new team, that's for sure. And having that experience, also Oregon a day one map, they've been through this. They've been through the ringer
Attackers
plenty of
have located
times
a
on
bomb.
Oregon. The biggest problem here is going to be Bullet, because they haven't, while they have had to pivot for this kids windows take, they haven't gone through an initial clear of the main floor to facilitate a successful windows take. Asphyxiating Bolt will come up from easily, trying to dispel the positioning of PX, and it'll drop him down to about 10 HP as he falls to the pantry hatch. And he will join Bullet downstairs. This Valkyrie camera also providing limitless intel to anyone on the rappel.
That's a very basic Valkyrie cam right there, and the fact that it's not been detected is pretty shocking. It's going to give a lot of intel, as you said, to the defense and allow Valkyrie to get an easy kill onto easily. Putting Immortals in OT position right now. They're just inches away. Rogue hasn't got much to show for it, to be honest. And one on big window, slash on North Propel. He's looking for an opportunity. He's still got people playing below him. Vertical's going to get one, but he needs much, much more. Shuttle's still on the roof. Running out of time, needs to get into the action if he wants to influence this round. Can't just be sitting up there on flank watch all day. Inside a junk tower, it's Valkyrie. Another kill for Vertical. That's exactly what you need to see for Rogue. Slash still has the ability to go into North Window, but they don't have the diffuser in hand. It's down under the North Windows, and it doesn't seem like anyone on Rogue is aware of this. They're gonna have to go for frags. And with Bullet still downstairs and full HP, it might not matter. Slash takes out PX, and there's still one on sight, but Bullet is going for broke, running away from sight. Cyber gets one on the west window. He goes for a second, and it's an even skirmish here, but there's no time, and the diffuser's not in hand. Vertical gets another one, but Immortals win it on time alone because of negligence from Rogue. They didn't pick up the diffuser.
I'm so lost right now. You had a lot of time to recover that. I think Slash died with it at 45.
Whoever the sledge was, and I didn't catch it, I apologize. But whoever that was, pick up the diffuser, man.
Like, that would have been so perfect because Vert jumps in big window. Bullet, I guess, assumes they have diffuser and tries to retreat up top white.
Yeah, he's bringing it back.
Touching the backside of Cyber. They were lined up for each other. Another 2 seconds in that round, and Vert probably cleans them both up. But he would have been perfect plant cover for someone to get the diffuser, immediately repel up kids' windows, repel into kids' windows, and start a plant. No more nitros left on the board. No intel in the objective. Easy plant cover for Vert from big window. That's a win. That's map 1 in the books. We're going to map 2.
One pretty major mistake there from Rogue. Cost them the entire round. And potentially the map.
Yeah.
Because that would have been it. We would be on map 2 right now, as you said. But no. OT. And Immortals get defense first. They get to go upstairs. This is their go-to site. As you said earlier, it's probably going to be the case that we see both teams go top floor and win it. Which means Immortals are kind of in the disadvantageous position in that they have to defend twice. they're going to have to go to either the basement or one of the off-sites, and both teams struggle in the basement.
Defender is approaching a kill zone. Defender exposed.
Navi's with a...
I mean, he wanted that drone, man.
I was going to say, aggressive play. It works out for him. Nobody catches him off guard inside of Garage with a pre-fire off the spawn, thankfully, even though he was detected.
Drone economy is a real thing.
Gets the drone out of it. He gets away with his life. You know, sometimes some of those big shots that could be punished, they get, or they slip by.
Yep. Now Rogue down a whole drone.
Oh no. We've only got 9 more.
But anyway. Top floor attack. It's expected that Immortals wins this. If they don't win this, then, oh wow, is it going to be really hard for them to bring this back. Top floor is the site, as we discussed.
Attackers have located a bomb.
And here's the thing. If Immortals win this as well, it could potentially tilt Rogue. They went into this match with a really, you know, you could see it, the happiness on their faces, but it might have already been kind of dispersed. It could be the happiness is gone. We're not sure. We can't see them right now, but we do know they just blew a potential round win because they didn't pick up a diffuser, and that's a tilter. That's it. It's a tilter. So this could be rough for Rogue if they lose this here, and it could cascade into defeat. But if they win it, then it would be almost a guaranteed victory. So it's going to be interesting how this next minute 25 plays out.
It's Cyber playing inside of Generator now with double coverage from Navi's and Bullet. Cyber's going to peek out into the hallway easily. On the pre-fire as he retreats and will join Slash and Cyber. And Aggressive gets droned out in the corner now. Just on the precipice of the doorway. Oh, he just sees the head for a moment. And Vertical will start things off on a Navi's. That's your only Nitrous on the side of Immortals taken care of. It's a good start for Rogue here to facilitate a sliding execute.
Love that VIP skin on Cyber. He hasn't been able to make anything happen with the actual gun, though. Rotating over to Attic, potentially there's a rotation. Smoke and plant from easily. He could get this down. There's nobody denying. Where are the Yokai drones? Where are the C4s? And it goes down with 4 defenders still alive. Rogue will plant the diffuser. And in this scenario, almost unlosable for the attack. Cyber has worked his way into Attic, which is a good position for a crossfire. But look at his teammates all lit up. And again, 1 man down. Easily has been downed on the attacking side, but he's being picked up. How does it happen that he gets back up from that scenario? A Claymore gets a kill. Cyber from Attic will finally influence the round, taking out easily, but there's no time for the defenders to disable this diffuser, and it's planted in a very exposed spot. M-King goes for it, but gets shut down. Shuttle with 2 for himself. The shotgun for PX is not gonna land, but it will finally. It's a Claymore. That's 2 Claymore kills in the round, and Rogue will take it, all but guaranteeing their victory on this map.
Good recovery there, but wow, is the information game lacking as a whole right now for Immortals. We talked about it on their attacking side with their just lack of droning. Like you said, where are the Yokais? Where are the Black Eyes? Where's
the C4
Mines, C4, Toxic Babes? I don't. All the utility on your entire roster. Where did it go?
Don't worry about it, guys. We can just wait.
Yeah.
Post plant, we'll retake. No problem. Good strategy. So
Tough one.
Yeah, I said all but guarantees, and Rogue are going to get to go to the top floor, so that's a really good position to be in right now. I don't think it's likely Rogue is going to throw this round after the strategy they just pulled there. Here's the thing. That was a really basic strategy from Rogue. That was the same strat they were running time and time again while attacking the top floor. And that's the first time, I think, it's actually worked out for them. Yeah, I want to say that's the first time that attack strategy has worked for Rogue. So, I mean, it's not like they changed something. It's just Immortals suddenly stopped paying attention, which I don't have an explanation.
I think my only explanation, and it's not even like an excuse or a justification for Immortals. I've seen the pattern for Rogue where every single time they have 4 smokes on their attack. They use 1 as an immediate bait where no one runs in. They use the second one as a first bait where they'll use the sound cue of the plant going down initially and then pull off. And then their last 2 smokes are serious ones. First smoke went down for Eclipse, and he just kind of waltzed in there and said, okay, I'm going to just try this off rip. I'm not sure if Immortals were just assuming that it was going to be the immediate bait like it had always been, or if they really just kind of fell asleep at the wheel there and wow, easily that is Advised, as Slash will fall as well. So there goes your Valkyrie. Okay, we said it was all but assured that Rogue would win the round, and you just lost extreme amounts of crucial plant delay and denial utility. In 20 seconds.
So remember when we said it was all but over?
Yeah. It's not over yet, is it?
Yeah, I guess not. There's 2 roamers, which means only 1 anchor right now for Rogue. I have no idea what just happened. Like, Rogue are in a tricky spot. After dropping 2 picks for free, Navi's gonna drone out Eclipse, and it'll cost him the drone, but
Loading new mag.
valuable information, knowing there's a pulse playing underneath the site. You have to clear him out before you start pushing in. And I'm sure that that'll be a focus for Immortals moving forward. Either that, or they're just gonna say, screw it. We'll take 1 loss from the C4 in exchange for a straight push into site. They have the time, so I don't think they need to go commit to that. Clip's gonna get the phone call. He'll answer it. Did not shoot his teammate's phone, so that still could be hacked. Camera's gonna be very valuable, especially considering there's a Valkyrie in play.
Biggest problem right now for Rogue is that Shuttle is the lone man on site. I think everyone on Immortals is reading this as the smoke will come out and Navi's will push the hallway with the LMG in hand. A second one for Navi's at the top of White Stairs will shut down Eclipse. It's vertical alone in a 1v5. PX hitting the plant down. Here's the ladder. And we'll descend deeper into Armory. Vertical takes down 1 through the wall and will drop immediately through the ladder stall. Another one peeking him on his right-hand side. Bullet will end the round, and that will put Immortals back on the defensive side with the opportunity to go back upstairs and not make the same mistakes. Is this a game of throws?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
This is a game of throws. We're watching one team throw a round, and then the other team will throw the round in response. It's like, no, you take the win. No, you take the win. No, you take the win. Yeah, I wonder who's going to say, I'll take the win first. Maybe it'll be the Immortals. Maybe they are selfless and magnanimous, and they'll give it to Rogue. But what the heck?
Doesn't it look like they're doing that right now? Giving it to Rogue?
Maybe. I mean, all things considered, Rogue are going to guess it'll be top floor. They've got to be betting on a top floor right now. And it's going to be a bottom floor. But at the same time, I don't know that that's really going to matter because they bring the same operator selection for both sites. So, like, identical operator selection, both sites.
All they got to be wary of is that extreme pressure from inside the meeting that resulted in the only Immortals win downstairs.
Yeah, it was the heavy roam.
Yeah, it was the 4-man meeting hold with T2 and T3 control and everyone just peeking anything possible. Any window, put your face in it and take a shot.
Yeah, Immortals really tripped up Rogue in that round. And well, I mean, that's on Rogue, I guess, to not allow that to happen. It looks like they're going to commit to a west clear first, and there are roamers in the west side of the building for Immortals. Some nice cameras going on here. That camera's going to allow for a retake into kitchen from meeting hall. It's good information if it stays alive.
Out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Well, wouldn't be the B stream, sorry, if we didn't go the distance.
Yeah.
Maximum round possibility, at least on map number 1 here. Round 15 will be the decider. There is nothing after this on Oregon, but there are possibly 2 more maps to go.
We didn't go to the 3rd map in the first series of the day, so there's that. Yeah. One's in T3 of Tower, everybody else defending downstairs for Immortals right now. Interesting setup. Not a lot of meeting hall presence. I'm sure they'll change that, though. Meeting hall presence is pretty important for any defensive team on this site. And again, because if Rogue is allowed to set themselves up, they are going to probably win. Oh, weird. You know, the way that you defend the basement is so different when there's no Mira.
Yeah.
You can open up that whole wall. You don't have to worry about making it a vault wall to avoid the Twitch drones going in, because who cares? There's no Mira. Vertical has finally cleared out top west, but it took him a while.
No Mira, no Maestro either. That's kind of where the smoke plants are becoming the majority here on this map. We've seen other instances of Oregon being played where the Maestro has been allowed through, and it was the Echo and the Mira banned out, as usually it's 2 of those 3 taken. But the smoke plants weren't all that effective when the Maestro was available. Now, just losing that one operator, the inability to see from the smoke, so no one electing to take bulletproof cameras, it's led the trend to go extreme smoke plant, and it's been working out so far for the majority of both of these teams on the attacking rounds. I think the Immortals downstairs winning was only 1 of 2 this entire game.
Not sure. But it's not an easy thing to pull off.
No.
That's for sure. It's really, you're in a corner, and it can be difficult to make work. But when you've got PX landing shots onto easily, that wow, that's half your smokes and all of your asphyxiating bolts gone. That is absolutely. Oh no.
Valkyrie cam watching it too, and there's
Oh
only 50
no!
seconds
Wait a
left.
minute. I think this happened yesterday as well. It was Rogue, I believe, against SSG. Maybe one of the very similar cam. I want to say on the same map, but it's happening twice.
Eclipse just spotted it, took it out. But there's another one looking in the depths of Laundry Room, and Cyber will spot the flank drone inside of Meeting. Vertical looking to push in, and it's a Cold War again at the back of the tower door. Will strike first. Ping's coming out, and it'll push Cyber back onto the stage as Vertical on the flank hold. 20 seconds left though, and Rogue not in a good position to go for the site execute. They need to get a plant attempt down. All the smokes come raining out now. Plant coming out from Eclipse, and everyone starts retreating back to the objective and filing in towards those main stairs. A reattempt now of the diffuser, and Slash will get one for the smoke. The Nitro though will stop the plant in its tracks, trying to turn the corner into the closet with the pistol in hand, putting down the diffuser. It won't be enough. Slash will fall. Immortals will take map number 1 away from Rogue on Oregon.
What a 7-8 in favor of Immortals. It went the distance, every single round being needed. An impressive victory from Immortals. They finally stopped throwing the buck the other way. Just said, you know what, we'll take it. We'll take it. Thank you, Rogue. I appreciate it.
Finally.
But the way that Rogue played that round, not that round necessarily, but the way that Rogue played that map, I mean, the way that both teams played that map, not great. Not great at all.
No.
I mean, we saw a lot of mistakes being made by both squads, period. This was an amazing 3K for Shuttle, but darn it if it didn't come down to individual performances and a lack of strategy and huge gaps in what strategy did exist.
It was also a showing of performance for the two top fraggers on Immortals, really. Like we said, throughout the entirety of the game, very top-heavy performance. There were a couple of depth candidates chiming in here or there. You really got to look at that last round in regulation, though. Rogue have site control, and they leave the diffuser outside. They allow it to go to OT, and they surrender map number 1 because of it. And the most important thing about that is this is an elimination game. You lose this best of 3. If Immortals claim one more map against Rogue in this best of 3, Rogue's done for the whole week. You go 0-2 out of groups. I don't think I have to say the obvious here. You don't want that to happen.
Every match that will be casted on this stream today will result in you being taken out if you lose it.
Yep.
That's not great. That's not great. So it's not over yet. Oregon still has, or sorry, Oregon.
Oregon, more rounds? We did 15. We're going to do some more on Oregon?
No, we're done with Oregon. But Rogue still has potentially 2 maps to bring it back. They have to win the next 2, of course, if they want to win the series. Best of 3, that's how it works. Immortals, though, so much buffer after that victory, and it was so close, meaning there were a lot more stakes involved in a contest like that. We saw something very similar in the first match today on this stream, NIP versus Reciprocity, where the first map went back and forth, almost the entire distance. It ended up being an 8-6 in favor of NIP, but we saw Reciprocity bring it back on map number 2 and then win that map number 3. I actually said earlier there wasn't a map number 3 in the first match for today. I don't know why I said that.
There were both maps, or 3 maps.
But it was 3 maps.
Yep.
And Reciprocity brought it back on the 2. But Ninjas Pajamas got a lot of stock in the first one. The thing is, that match went that way because both teams were heavily momentum-based. Reciprocity managed to get that momentum back in their corner. And you could say the same thing, sure, about Immortals versus Rogue, but it's not quite to the same extreme as either Reciprocity or NIP. And I don't think that it's going to... I think that this win for Immortals is going to shut Rogue down a little bit.
I mean, you've got to be dejected if you're Rogue. And we talked about the mentality game earlier on. If you're Rogue... It wasn't just that one round that comes to mind. There were a lot of different chances and a lot of different individual moments where it came so close, just a hair's breadth away, and it wasn't enough for Rogue to pull it out. They are now on their absolute last life. They go 0-2 against Space Station. They get dumpstered in the second map against Space Station. And now an 8-7, there's no pride in second place right now in this best of 3. It's do or die.
I mean, there you could say you can't necessarily say that about the yesterday's matches because it loser bracket.
Yeah.
But here, exactly, do or die. You either make it or you don't, and yeah.
Especially for a team like Rogue that has been here plenty of times and been
You
to
expect
a
them
lot
to
of
win.
lands.
Yeah.
You expect them to at least make it out of groups, regardless of performance in Season 9 right now.
You don't necessarily expect. They've never won an international LAN event.
Yeah.
They won the USN, of course, but not anything on an international scale. So that's worth noting. But they've been going at it longer than anybody, dude. They've been that not that exact roster, but that team has existed since Season 1.
Yep.
Since the very beginning. They're one of the oldest slots in all of Pro League, one of the longest running. So
I don't even think Dark Zero was around Season 1. I thought they came out Season
no, I think they
like
were.
That 3-man core.
I'm pretty sure Flip Side, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, Flip Side's also, or Dark Zero is also one of the older slots in North America. I mean, if you look at Evil Geniuses, right? You think, oh, Evil Genius is one of the OGs of the NA scene. That team didn't exist until Season 3. So, yeah, Rogue have been here. They've been around the block. They should know.
Too many times, honestly.
Too many
they
times.
Walk away with nothing.
And they haven't, exactly. They've walked away with nothing from every event they've been to, other than, of course, USN, but international events. It's been a struggle for them. And, yeah, they've changed rosters a lot. And it's worth noting. This is not the same. They have not had a consistent roster. Ever. Rogue has never had a consistent roster for more than 2 seasons, max. So, actually, yeah, for more than 2 seasons max. That's it. I'm pretty sure. So it's been a struggle for Rogue and Immortals on the other hand. Right now, I mean, you look at them; they're on the up and up as a team. You look at their local performance in Pro League, and they're having a decent season. You know, not perfect record for sure, but pretty good. And recently, they've been the top in their region. So there's a lot of pressure on Rogue. Less so on Immortals in my mind, because, yeah, whoever loses this goes home. But Immortals is going home to a good, or at least decent track record in Pro League, and Rogue, not so much.
No, and the one thing I will say about Immortals right now is they don't look like the team I've been hearing about. I have heard multiple coaches, players all weekend singing their praises, and maybe it's just Oregon, like you said. We don't have tape on Oregon for Immortals.
I mean, yeah, Rogue's lost it once.
Yeah.
Immortals hasn't played it. So that was the first time. It's something new, right?
Yeah. Well, looks like we're getting underway, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 2, Bank, between Rogue and Immortals. Do or die elimination game in Group B will begin right now. Op bands coming out.
So, Immortals are on defense first, so they'll get to ban first, as per usual. See, Maverick gone. All right. We've seen a Maverick ban already, but it was actually from Rogue in the previous match, which is quite interesting. And this is an exact reversal. So, Immortals banned Habana last match, and Rogue's banned. Or no, sorry. Immortals banned, yeah. That makes no sense. This is the complete opposite of what we just saw. It's the same operators on attack being banned, but in reverse.
Yeah. And there goes the Maestro, mirroring what we just saw on Oregon as well. So we go 4 for 4 between Bank and Oregon. 2, honestly, polar opposite maps.
Rogue will ban Maestro, which they did ban last map.
Yep.
This would be a mirror ban then from Immortals if we're going to go.
We're mirroring. No.
Oh, it's an echo ban. So both of the indirect denial ops gone. That's going to be pretty big. It's not exactly uncommon. Many teams practice for this, but it is new for this series at least. All right, so
it's tough too when you, because we just saw a Bank game earlier on today. It was in the Fnatic and FaZe game.
Well, that was a banger.
That was an incredible game back and forth, and it was Fnatic really running away with the early onset there. But it all came down to the default plant spot, not being utilized all that often for either team inside of CCTV from server. They were going opposite.
What defenders were banned?
On that game, that's an excellent question. I know they...
I'm guessing it was probably a lot of indirect, like probably either a Maestro or an Echo, at least one of them. And
Echo for sure was banned.
maybe a Mira as well, but I didn't watch the match.
Been the same. I think
Maybe.
it was Maestro Echo because I never saw a Maestro.
Well, like I said, I didn't watch the match, so I was busy casting. So I have...
Pretty good excuse.
Yeah, I have no idea. But I'm assuming that a lot of those denial ops were banned, which means that as a defensive team, you have to rely on other forms of denial, like C4, for example, or gas canisters, because smoke is very rarely banned in that scenario. Because of that, the defenders are going to try and go for, or rather the attackers are going to try and go for plants that are in different locations. When you've got the Evil Eyes and Yokai drones in play,
10 seconds left.
default is... Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter where you go because they're very dynamic. Evil Eyes and my Echo, or Yokai drones, both very dynamic. So when a C4 is thrown in the wrong location based on lack of information, it's, yeah, it can win you around if it's wasted. So try planting in off spots. That's probably why we saw something like that. But again, I didn't actually catch the entirety of the match, so I don't know, I defer to you.
Oh, I was flipping back and forth between both of them.
Oh, okay.
I just noticed that was a common trend.
All right, well.
No one really wanted to stay in default.
Speaking of, I mean, we're not going to basement here.
True. We are swapping things up. We're going Teller's Archives off rip, and that wall is open into CEO.
Rotation, maybe? Must have been made from the defenders if it's open. I didn't catch it personally. But Easley's going to read that and try to drone out CEO. Already some good information here. A Mira window established upstairs, so this is why we did not see Immortals ban out Mira. They wanted to use it, and they get to start on defense, so it will be to their advantage, at least early on.
Makes a lot of sense, and this is almost indicative of what you see in a full CEO hold. I mean, the manpower up top, still got a 3-man hold, and there goes the castle barricade protecting the Mirror of PX, and Cyber we felled first. He's having a bad day on the Jaeger, honestly. He's had a few aggressive plays that have worked out, and you've got PX locked down in a corner right now with nowhere to go. Up against a indestructible windowsill, but you've got the meeting room presence coming out from Vertical again on the Jackal, and the Jackal paints him out on PX, turns around at the most inopportune time. That's 3 for Vert now. Finally traded out by Navi's in the janitor closet, but he tries to sprint. Oh! What a shot by Navi's on the reaction. He'll bail back out to the objective. It's a 2v3 to fight out of for M-King and Navi's.
Decent position here for Immortals, considering that 2K from Navi's, but they've still got a whole minute to hold on. Slash is going to take some damage, but Eclipse will shut down Navi's. Finally, no ace for the man. M-King now has to clutch against 3. He's going to go for an aggressive play, but he gets shut down by the Claymore. Eclipse with the 2-piece there coming from the main lobby. And Rogue will take the first round, attacking Tellers. I can already tell this is going to be a map. I could feel the map 3 coming on.
You're going to 3?
We're one round into this, and I can feel the map 3. Now, but it's not going to be. I'm not saying that because it's going to be a one-sided affair. I'm saying that because this is going to go all the way to the 7-8, and then we're going to go to the map 3, and then one of the teams is going to stop. My prediction is that it's going to be 7-8, Rogue.
Okay.
And then map 3.
Yep.
One of these teams, I can't predict who, is going to absolutely stop. That's what I think is going to happen. I'm making bold predictions because, honestly, I have no idea.
Well, I think we all have the same reaction as Slash right now.
I missed it. What'd he say?
Well, there's a Cade being picked, and that's kind of
he's gonna 6-pick. Yeah, I don't. Technically speaking, I think it. Wait.
He didn't 6-pick. So.
So we'll have a. Oh, yeah, we'll have a rehost.
That's a lot of TKs.
Yeah, they can't see it, but yeah, we'll have a rehost.
That's gonna be an admin call.
That might incur penalties.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to wait until the admins make that call. It's not up to us. We are definitely having a rehost, but we'll see what the actual result is of that situation. Full step away for all the teams, and interesting the way that played out. I don't know what the heck he was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know if there was like a tech issue and it auto-picked it for him, and then...
I don't think so.
Trying to give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't just honestly forget that...
So, for those of you who are watching and are very confused right now...
True.
Kaid is a new operator, having just been added to the game. He is currently on pause. He's not part of Pro League or any competitive siege, just to give players time to adapt to his existence. And yeah, Immortals just accidentally picked him. I mean, he's still in the game. You can't restrict operator selection. I mean, technically Lion is quarantined too, but anybody can accidentally play Lion.
Yeah.
So big whoops for Immortals, and we'll find out what the admins decide on that one. I'm guessing it's just going to be a rehost, but we don't know.
We're gonna wait and see on that one.
Oh, okay, so I just heard this
Same.
in my ears, and
Wait on it.
it's shocking me a little bit. Yeah, so we'll wait on it
Yep.
until we actually load into the map.
I don't want to say anything in case that gets.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wait to see what the admin call is when we actually load into the match. So just give it a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so it's been doubled up upon, apparently. I don't want to say it. You want to say it, Flynn?
Sure, I will say this. So this is reminiscent of the old rehost problems we had earlier on in Season 9.
Just say it. I can't, but you
Rogue
should.
has been given a round.
Mm-hmm.
It is now 2-0 Rogue. And no defensive site will be locked out, considering they're in the attack. So
Yep.
IMT can still go anywhere they please on the map. But it is now confirmed a 2-0 lead for Rogue
Yeah.
for not waiting for a rehost.
And that was double checked. I share Rangers sentiment. Sure, whatever.
Sure.
I'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah, free round. What the heck, man? Why not? Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're playing some competitive Siege. Yeah, go ahead and don't
do that.
pick Kaid. That is, wow.
Yeah.
I can't.
That's one way to get around.
Something, man. Yeah.
So there's two different outcomes for this, right? And I'm just playing off the mentality for a little bit here while we wait for things to get back underway. When EG got a round, or when EG was playing Rogue, and Rogue got a round for EG not waiting for an actual rehost call, that maybe didn't make Troy and the rest of EG feel so happy, and they kind of came out very angry and slaughtered Rogue.
Yeah, that was
in
against
that
Rogue
game.
too, yeah.
Yeah. So you got two different options here if you're Immortals. One, you could react like EG did and just storm back and be evil about it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're going to let it get under your skin and it's going to tilt you, and we're definitely going to map 3 at that point.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll find out. It looks like they're still deliberating. A little bit of conversation going on there, but I'm guessing we'll be fully committed to this 2-0, and yeah.
We are in. We're locked in.
We're loading in right now, so it's going to be a 2-0 for Rogue. Man, don't pick the wrong operator. Just don't do it.
Simple mistakes.
You got to avoid that. So we'll be going to round number 3 here. And, yeah. Wait, there's no bans. Guys, there's no bans. Okay, so this is probably going to be a rehost, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find out. They could just all agree. You could just shake hands and be like, we won't play the band operators.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll probably, yeah, we're going to rehost. So we'll be getting right back to us. Hello. It's good to see you guys again. Well, I mean, can't see you just yet, but
Not yet.
just I guess in a bit.
Tie.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look good.
Hey,
Nice
we're
and
back,
straight.
I guess.
Hello.
Right now.
So
Yeah.
somebody forgot to input the operator brand, so we're gonna
Yeah.
do a rehost after that Kaid thing. I don't even know what that was.
But yeah, the
A
bands.
mess of a map.
The bands were Hibana, Mav, Echo, Maestro.
Yeah, you did get them all. Yes.
Beauty.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. So they'll input that, and then we'll go back to our 2-0,
Yeah.
which
2-0.
was a 1-0,
Was a 1-0.
but now will heavily favor Rogue. I wonder what site they're gonna count that as, or if it's just gonna be a free token win.
Good news is that Rogue was attacking, so it doesn't give them a win
Right.
to lock out an objective, thankfully. So
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be a mess to try and decide what imaginary round or imaginary bomb site was won in the imaginary round.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to have to make that call.
It's a good thing that they were attacking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That went way over my head, but I don't. Oh, they're trying to figure out what the bands are. So we'll get all the
Should I say
that.
them again?
What?
Should I say them
You want
again?
to say them again? It's Mav, Hibana, Echo, and Maestro. Immortals band Mav and Echo. Rogue band Hibana and Maestro. So.
We're smart.
Well, no, I have a notebook.
Ah.
Yeah, so I write my stuff down.
That's actually smarter than just trying to be an idiot and remember it.
It's really convenient. You should.
Yeah,
You should do it.
I should
It's
invest
good.
in a notebook.
Yeah.
The whole $5 it would take to buy a notebook. Yeah.
This one, very nice. I like
Yeah.
it. Was $3.
Wow.
Yeah, look at it. In all its glory.
That's a real steal right there.
It's a notebook. It's paper.
We're just kind of stalling until.
We're
There
waiting until
go.
we get into the match, and it looks
game's
like we
back
have it.
underway.
Yay!
We did it. We stalled long enough.
So, Immortals versus Rogue. It's a 2-0 because, whoops, I picked the wrong operator.
Yeah.
And Rogue on attack still, but this time they, I don't know, they're up around that that are, I don't know, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Teller's Office Archives and scene. Looks like the operator selection from Immortals is going to be quite interesting. Remind everybody that both Echo and Maestro are banned, so you're going to be relying on other information operators such as Valkyrie and Mira.
Well, having actually lost Teller's
Attackers
Archives
need to
once
locate
and then,
defuse bombs.
I guess,
Lost a
imaginarily
round.
losing it the other time.
Magic
we're gonna go
loss.
for, in the third round, another attempt at Teller's Archives with that same top hold, it appears, because identical operators coming
Attackers
in.
have located a bomb.
And you really don't want to be losing those rounds for the wrong operator pick in a situation like this. I mean, this is as high stakes as it gets, man. Well, actually, that's not true. I guess the finals will be as high stakes as it gets, but it's pretty high up there.
I was going to say, this is the difference between getting a little bit of money and a lot of money
10
for the
seconds
prize pools, considering if you make it out of groups, your winnings are guaranteed to be much
seconds.
higher than going out as
Yeah.
the second team eliminated.
No matter how far you make it in the main event, if you make it to the main event, you're sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get eliminated in the group stages, it's, I mean, you get something, but it's not as much as you would want. That's a good start. Yeah, we're going to a map number 3. That's my prediction, by the way. M King goes down, and yeah, Glass is very useful there.
TX is peeking these windows too, and Bullet's stuck inside of the front table office. Now, obviously, there's no one on site right now for Immortals. They're all
Vertical
upstairs.
play, man. You gotta get that vertical play. I mean, this could work out for Immortals, but I don't know how I feel about this. There's only one drop down, even remotely close to the site, that can get them back to the site, and it's not even directly on the site. And if they haven't established a rotation hole between small office, is he really challenging
Yeah,
that?
I was gonna say the ball's on Cyber right now.
That's just
It's a Jaeger too. He doesn't even have an ACOG.
shed a tear. But yes, this is very dangerous. I mean, if it works out, great. But I mean, he does have an advantage. It's still so dangerous. He's being, looks like, tracked there by the Jackal. Bullet's gonna eat some HP there. And, he'll heal himself back up. PX trying to challenge the North Propel, and he just barely doesn't see his opponent. The flick not gonna come out from PX, and Immortals starting to get pincered from all angles. This is not an easy defense here. Immortals not very well established either. Vertical's gonna take out another. There goes Bullet, and Vertical land onto PX. Many shots, but not enough to get a kill.
To push him into the waiting arms of Shuttle with the L-85. So Navi's has gone back down to the objective now and standing inside of the left Teller's doorway, the Nitro Cell in hand, but a 2v5 as Cyber has retreated down to open area. It's a tough spot to be in for Immortals to try and work out of. And you had Vert on that roam clear once again, being so dominant with that C70 on the reflex sight. And Slash has no need to leave the parking garage. He's going to stay up there and do his thing with that fluorescent scope.
Yeah, I mean, he's supporting his teammates, and they already have such a man advantage. He probably doesn't, as you said, he doesn't really need to leave.
Reason to push anywhere, and now Jackal Ping is coming out again on the Cyber.
There's no control on Tellers right now for Immortals. They'll finally rotate Navi's to Tellers, so it's established now, but Wall's getting opened up. Rogue are going for a slow attack because they may have the man advantage and they're trying not to throw it away. Ooh, some exchange of fire there. Navi's gonna come out underneath in that engagement. Not a great one for him. As his teammate gets taken out, need an ace from Navi's. And he's really been fragging out so far in this series, but I don't see an ace as likely. Plant going down, C4 is gone, so he can't use it to make a rotation. On very little HP, he will be forced to run through the doorway, and he's not even gonna get there. Shuttle through the wall will shut down Navi's, and it's, I believe, a perfect round there for Rogue. It's technically 3 in a row.
Technically.
Jeez.
3-0 lead. Yeah, the Immortals with the top setup. I'd probably abandon that for now. You're just getting pinned down from way too many crossfires.
So, Bank, by the way, is hands down Rogue's best map.
Yeah.
This is worth noting. They've played it 3 times. They've won it 3 times. They banned it 3 times as well.
Are those stats just for Season 9?
Yeah, just for
Those
this
are
season
Rogue's
and
only
potentially the
3
qualifiers if they
They're
play.
3-1 and 3.
What?
Then those would be Rogue's only 3 wins in Pro League, considering they're 3-1 and 3.
It's Pro League plus qualifiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've got 3 wins on Bank, and they banned it 3 times. This is a really, really good map for Rogue. And Immortals, on the other hand, banned it 5 times, and they've got a record of 1-1-1. So
That's interesting considering Latin America really does favor Bank. It's been one of those maps that's been in the rotation for almost all Latin American teams, especially when they play internationally.
yeah,
When they play against each other, it's like, okay, you're good at Bank, we're good at Bank, okay, let's not do Bank. But when they take it international, it's usually one of the favorites for Latin American teams, and yet Immortals,
10 seconds
I mean,
left
granted,
before insertion.
they picked Cade, lost a round, and they did the same thing twice in a row and got
5
picked apart by just a beautiful top clear by Rogue. Maybe they'll have success on other bomb sites, at least on the defensive half. Maybe their offense is just smotheringly beautiful, but for right now, it's looking pretty rough.
Roma's here from Immortals inside an open area, as well as potentially upstairs. Seen it a lot that there are roamers aggressively from Immortals on a map like this, but here's the tricky thing. Jackal is left unbanned. In a map like Bank, Jackal is one of the most useful operators, period. So the fact that he is still available is going to be a huge advantage for Rogue, at least in this first half. Once we transfer over to the second half, it'll be Immortals' advantage, but we're not there yet. And if Immortals aren't able to get enough rounds for it to matter here and now, then, well, hey, it won't matter. So, Vertical, having already taken control of top floor, start pushing his way down the main stairs, and you'll see his first victim, and it's going to be Jaeger.
Well,
Plain sight.
Cyber over in Garage right now, not a really big deal, as they'll get pinged out, and no one currently pushing Garage right now for Rogue, as it's a strong coalition over towards Server, and you got a double hold right now inside of Server with M-King and Bullet on the Pulse and the Legion. It'll be up to the entire squad on Rogue to try and piece through this, but with both the Hibana and the Maverick banned out, you have to be sparing with your utility, especially when it comes down to only having 2 extra thermic charges, and you need 1 of them to pop open the server wall. Well, 1 will get utilized, I believe, on the server hatch to try and flush out this server hold. And the Jackal pings will continue right now. The server hold is completely picked apart, but left in a 5v5 as no one was covering from hatch to watch the rotate out.
Exothermic charge goes off. Okay, so default accessible in a minute to try and deal with the counterplant utility. They're gonna juggle all the C4s. There are 3 C4s on the defensive side, and that's all the defenders have to deny the plant. Clips goes for a fake out. No C4 wasted. An inefficient fake out there from Rogue. So I could go for another one pretty soon here. And that's why there was no plant. Valkyrie Cam in play. Clip's going for another fake out. He's waiting. I'm not sure what for. He needs to commit. That's 1 C4 gone there. A second one will land, and
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
there's only 1 left, potentially. Easley's going for the plant, though, and here we go. It's Tekken C4, and it misses. An excellent fake out there from Easily, and he's going to double down, going for it once more. There shouldn't be any C4 left, and he's going to be able to get this plant down easy peasy. M-King will make him work for it, though, and Slash goes down. It's 2 for Rogue, now 3. It's just Navi's, and he's finally swept out. And it's, I mean, all 5 deaths coming post-plant there. That's not a great result for Immortals.
Just great baiting out from Rogue, and you see Ranger and everyone laughing about it. Looks like we got a tack timeout as Ranger fiddles with his headgear. That round for Immortals as well also seems like they are not comfortable on Bank, which is a weird thing to say. Granted, like you said, they're a 1-1-1 record right now in recent history. And yeah, that's an IMT tack timeout. No big shock there, considering you're down 4-0 already on a map that should probably honestly be a little defender-sided considering the bans. 2 hard breachers removed from play.
Well, again, this is straight up Rogue's best map.
Yeah.
Based on the stats, they don't perform. I mean, they don't perform anywhere else, or better anywhere else. So this is not terribly surprising, I guess, to me. But I mean, this is a lot more one-sided than I thought.
Yeah.
Immortals have a good record here. They've won it once, drawn it once, and lost it once. That's all things considered pretty decent. It's not amazing. It's not like Rogue's 3 wins, but I don't know. It shouldn't be a 4-0 right now.
I also got to I got to bring it back to that round on Oregon where they left the diffuser outside. You could have won map number 1 without even needing it to go into overtime, and you could be up 4-0, 3 rounds away from continuing on and eliminating IMT, and yet a few mistakes here and there lead Rogue on their back foot, doing so well on map number 2. This could have been over.
So this is really interesting too. Map number 3, when we, looks like eventually get to it, who knows though.
Yeah.
Map number 3 will be Clubhouse. Immortals have never banned Clubhouse this season and through the qualifiers. They have a 1-1-1 record, the same as Bank, but with less bans. On the other hand, Rogue have banned it 3 times. Guess what their record is, because I'm telling you it's real close to what you've got on Bank. It's not quite exactly the same, but very, very close.
Ooh. Wow, they're flawless right now.
Yeah, on Bank they're 3-0, on Clubhouse they're 2-0, and by they I mean Rogue. Immortals, on the other hand, have the same record for both maps, 1-1-1. This best of 3 overall heavily favors Rogue. So,
Seconds left before insertion.
Bad look for Immortals.
no, not a good situation, that's for sure.
No.
That's for sure. We'll see though, we'll see. It's not over yet. Immortals are gonna go to the basement once more.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
And they've brought a lot of great tools to hold this out. They've got 4 C4s
I was gonna say, you bring,
and 1 gas canister.
Yeah,
well,
you're just-
1 set of gas canisters, sorry.
you're going to the depths of the well there for nitro cells, man.
Yeah, they really want to not have a plant happen like it did last round. And honestly, if this round plays out like last round, I'm guessing that amount of utility, that counterplant utility from Immortals, is going to get them their first win. But that's only if it plays out exactly the same as it did last round. And who knows? Maybe Rogue will do something different.
I feel like this composition on the defensive side would typically work a little bit better online versus on land, considering connecting shots onto a nitro cell going through the air, infinitely easier on land compared
Oh yeah, hands
to
down.
online.
Yeah,
So,
it's actually really not that hard. If you open up the long angle in server, where, you know, the wall to where M King is in that general area, if you open out the wall, and one person covers, shoots the C4 midair, yeah, if you got decent reactions, anyone can do it, man. It might seem hard because it doesn't happen very much online, but on LAN, it's seriously
different story.
easy. Yeah. It is a really easy thing. So, we'll see. Not a guarantee that that'll happen. Navi's is really caught off here. He can cut off rotation between open and small office.
Easily just needs to turn. He's already in server.
But yeah, he was really exposed. Easily not going to get that kill, though. That was really bad timing from Rogue to not capitalize there.
Oh. Inches away, but now Slash will look in with that fluorescent scope of his. And you can see that stacking inside of Gold Vault right now for M King and Navi's. 2 of those nitro cells playing extremely sheltered.
Nobody's watching main stairs. We've got somebody inside a garage. It's Bullet, but anybody could just waltz down main stairs right now and do some serious damage. Cyber is the primary flank watch, it seems, but he's not actually watching the flank right this second. Looks like he's setting himself up to do that, though. Only a minute left. The wall's already open, though, so this is decent efficiency from the attack. C4s are prepped.
Imagine if anyone could go for that flank, it would be Shuttle.
Yeah.
Not needed right now. Nitro Cell being ripped out from PX. Not going to be launched out just yet.
Again, if Rogue decide to play the default plan and counter utility game, I think they're going to lose this one because Immortals just has too much utility in hand. The gas canisters were the early set, but the C4s, there's all C4s. 4 right now in play.
None of them being launched out yet, none of them being detonated, and lots of shots coming out from Slash, but not connecting is very difficult to utilize. Oh, never mind. There goes Cyber. His head gets plastered up against the garage wall, and now the stun canister easily, that's huge, so that'll stop the animation to throw another nitro cell, and they get the plant down because of it. Slash up with another victim lined up for him in PX, and now trying to go for 3, and he will cut him down. A 4th one peeking at the server door, and he gets it. Slash on a run. Shuttle will clean things up. Rogue up 5-0.
What a round from Slashug. Yesterday, he just wasn't making it happen. Today, he's on fire, unstoppable, and Rogue will put themselves inches away from match point. Just one more round to go, and that would bring us to a map number 3. Very impressively done from Rogue and Slash specifically, but I gotta say, what the heck, Immortals? Like, I understand you're gonna get knocked off of the animation.
Yeah.
With the Zofia lifeline. And I understand that the Thatcher is gonna deny your pulse. But just how did they plant with still 4 C4 in play? They're 4 C4. I just don't, man. I just don't know.
Yeah, the concussion, it can't get all of you.
I mean, it's a radius. It's an AOE for sure, but it's.
But if he shoots it at the mirror hole, anyone peeking CC door should be able to get a nitro cell in default and detonate it.
It's a 7-second plant, man. It takes a while. You can rotate somebody else from a different location to C4 it.
Yeah.
I can't believe Immortals didn't throw a single C4 to counter that plant. Mind blowing. Anyway, good job to Rogue. Going for the plant, getting it. Just Immortals shouldn't have let it happen. Now,
yeah, it's not really that it's not really that Rogue is winning the game. It's that Immortals is losing the game.
Yeah, good way to put it.
And this seems like a desperation attempt here, grasping at straws. Cyber going to be going to the Cav, understanding that Vertical is bringing the Jackal constantly and could be using part of that as the roam clear. Navi's, I guess maybe his location was detected immediately, but he'll rip back down from stock, back down towards the main stairs, sorry. Actually, no, he's going to stand and fight inside of stock with Cyber over inside a conference room.
So we've been seeing a lot of Cav play. A lot of you may have noticed recently the animation bug with Cav. I don't think it's really a bug, it's just an accident. One of those happy accidents.
Yeah.
Anyway, so if you use her ability and you like lean left and right, you're crouching, it can be really hard to see her if she's behind some like crouch level cover.
Yep.
Because of that, we've been seeing Cav played a lot, actually. She's not terrible after the changes. She's actually more consistent overall because she's got more range to her pistol. But yeah, people really fans. But at the same time, Vertical lands headshots, so I guess it doesn't really matter. People are fans of Cav because of that ability thing that you can do. Bullet's gonna land a headshot onto Slash though, so refrag. It's one for each team, and the glass is gone. That's a huge pick for the defense.
Good work there for at least providing some support and allowing Navi's to escape back down. He's now going to get Jackal tracked, and he was upstairs in a roaming tandem with Cyber, so at least you get one away. You maintain one of your nitro cells. Your Cav does nothing, and you sacrificed having, I guess, a smoke action? Oh, wow, they sacrificed bringing a smoke from the Cav.
That's pretty huge, yeah.
Yeah.
Still got 4C4.
That in prep.
It's still 4C4, but
no smoke.
No smoke. That's a lot of delay you just don't have. But at the same time, the glass is gone, so it's pretty much an equal exchange so far.
Yeah, you lose Slash, who had the 4K last round, so it's pretty equal trade, like you said.
In terms of utility.
Yeah, the wall's going to get opened up right now by Eclipse. Drops a Claymore at the door, and you got Vertical playing for hatch control, and Shuttle again doesn't really have much of a mission right now. He could go down and help easily as far as plant cover, but you got the hatch control, and with Immortals again neglecting the main stairs as much as they have been, this could be an easy flank, and the mirror is closed, PX.
He's using a sound cue to try and fake out the enemy.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually a decent strategy here from PX. He was doing it all last round, but with so little time and all the C4 still in play, this could be really, really, really bad for Rogue. They're gonna go for the plant. PX still has a C4. Is he gonna throw it is the question. It does go out, but it does eventually land. He detonates it late, and there you go. No one's planting for Rogue. There's not enough time, and it could be the first round for Immortals. And yes, indeed, it will be. Shuttle does try, but it cannot happen. Immortals finally take one on bank.
Well, you go into the half after the first split. You're down 5-1 if you're Immortals. The question was brought up yesterday after a grueling map 1 going the distance 8-7 on Oregon. Do you want to stretch this out and try and get the 2-0, knowing that this is one of Rogue's best maps in their pool? Or do you kind of just phone it in for the last couple rounds and get to Clubhouse? A map that equally is a good map for Rogue, but could be an entirely different look and just a mental reset for Immortals.
Slightly less good. They've got one less win.
One less win.
3 wins.
Same number of losses.
3 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws on bank. 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws on Clubhouse, which will be our 3rd map if we get to it. And it's looking like we will. I don't know. I would say if I'm Immortals, I fight tooth and nail to the bitter end. But that's just my inner competitiveness.
Yeah.
I think if you're thinking about in terms of practicality, say wing it maybe for like try, or not wing it, but do your best for the next 2-3 rounds. And if you see no success on any of the bomb sites that you're attempting to go to, then the game will decide for you. That's the truth. I don't see any reason to give up on these rounds. I mean, yeah, you could say energy, but at the same
10
time,
seconds
both teams are playing the same amount. So I don't really know if that argument makes any
5
sense.
seconds to go.
Navi's Twitch drone could be inside of Garage
Attackers
and easily
recovered
will
the
not
bomb
spot it.
diffuser.
That's really good
Attackers must
for the
locate
Twitch.
and defuse a bomb.
Curious that we have the Twitch being brought, though to be fair, there is no Mira ban, so Mira can be brought. But she's not being brought. I don't know.
Razor wire deployed.
Looks like on the A stream that Empire, spoiler alerts, mute if you don't want to hear it.
We're gonna say this for 10 seconds, so just 10-second pause.
Empire wins map number 1 versus Space Station 8-6. So another overtime game on map number 1. Getting a lot of those today, and honestly the competition level throughout the entire day yesterday and the first half of today, remarkable.
Yeah.
Except for this map.
Well, no, I mean, no, except for many maps. We've seen a lot of really fast matches today, actually. We saw just NIP versus Reciprocity was a 7-0, 7-3 in the second 2 maps of the best of 3 series, so yeah. In the 2 second maps, or second and third map, whatever. English hard. Slash Hug on the main server stairs. He's got the shotgun. Not gonna be able to accurately land a headshot, but he will take out Navi's. No headshot needed. Enough damage packed into one of those canisters. Guzman's go out. He's trying to double up on his utility since it's been destroyed. He will be hit by that Guzman, but it will work to his advantage because he's got the shotgun and it's easy to land shots with this one. The auto shotty on Ella, very potent at such a close range.
You've also got the ability to recover twice as fast from your own Ella mines if you're playing on those stairs. The flashbangs come out trying to push in. This, the 3rd one, will full blind slash like he's playing a dancing game back and forth, but ultimately only trades out 1 on his stand and fight. A lot of time burnt though, over or just about 2 minutes on the time burnt on those server stairs, and the same conversation that we were having for Rogue will be had here. Do you utilize the utility to open up the server hatch and then don't open up your CCTV hatch? Or do you use that time that is necessary to clear the dude stairs and burn that as utility?
Yeah, since you've got 2 hard breacher bans, just those exothermic charges in play, you're very limited as an attacker on the space. And here's the thing though, there's a lot less counter utility on Rogue's side. It's gonna be a committed plant here from Enking. He's taken damage though, so he'll be forced off. He's gonna have to come back eventually, but that's just 1 gas canister expended by the defenders, and that's decent efficiency, all things considered. Another attempt from M-King. Gas canister will go off, but he might just be able to stick it. It looks like he will attempt and be successful in that endeavor. Shuttle shuts him down, so it cost him quite a lot. In fact, his whole life. But in a post-plant Immortals, this is going to be really hard for them to lose, but that could cause a loss! Oh, what a blunder from PX! Vertical takes full advantage, and he gets the second one, but oh, just barely losing out. Spoke too soon. Cyber's going to take down Eclipse because he has the smoke grenade working in his favor. Being able to see through it is huge. Cyber gets another one, and a third for Cyber. Immortals takes the round, and almost recovery there from Vertical, but it just wasn't enough.
Wow. That round had a lot of key pieces in it in the post plant. There was PX whiffing inside of Kitchen on Vert. Vert then whiffing on PX at the re-engagement, point blank. You've got a reflex, he's got an ACOG, similar rate of fire, and yet you lose that out. And then you've got Cyber on the glass inside a server who picks up a 3K, considering IMT were down 2 men in a 3v5 in that post plant. Also, you got to feel real bad for Shuttle in that one, considering he killed off M-King, I want to say, a microsecond after the plant got completed.
I think the biggest thing for me is that Rogue had very little counterplant utility. And what they did have, they didn't use. There was a C4 in play there, but guess what didn't happen? A C4. Also, the smokes were poorly paced from Rogue. Really poorly paced.
Yeah, we talked about the amount of time that was burnt from that server stairs hold from the Ella playing on server stairs with all that utility that was invested, and burnt nearly 2 minutes off. But you're right, the pacing of the smokes coming out, the utility on site, doesn't seem to have encouraged Rogue to make any changes, though, which is interesting. You still have Vertical now playing Valkyrie, so bringing another Nitro cell. Got easily swapping to a Doc, so changes to the lineup, but you're only bringing one extra C4, and you still got to be able to use it at the end of the day. It's going to come down to a playstyle shift for Rogue, not necessarily the utility changing.
Yeah, I think that's potentially enough, but it's spectator bug. But it's not really. I gotta say, I don't think it's the right call. You've got opportunities here to pick operators that will assist you in denying the plant. C4, I mean, that's how Immortals decided to do it, and that's how they won that last round. If you remember, on the final defensive round for Immortals, they had so much counterplant utility in those C4s that they were able to pace them and win it out. But not so here for Rogue, and they're gonna have to rely on other means to make it happen. They had other means, though. That server stairs hold, we talked about that. I mean, it wasted a lot of time. So, playstyle adjustment, I don't know what they're gonna adjust to compensate for the lack of counterplant utility. Maybe they'll just use what they do have more efficiently this time.
Or just use it in general, like you said. The Nitro cell from Eclipse just never came out. He was sitting in gold on the cardiac sensor. Hey, everyone on Rogue, remember to use what you have to deny the plant. And came down to milliseconds in the last round. We'll see if it happened again, considering that, well, we thought it was going to be impossible, considering it was a 5-0 lead for Rogue when we were all but assured map number 3. Rogue still in the driver's seat, however, Immortals picking up a little bit of steam and bringing some utility that will help this plant come out, even avoiding some of these Nitro cells, especially with the Finka. Give you a little extra health to absorb maybe the fringes of the radius of that Nitro cell detonating.
Got control of server here. They're going to finally open up the wall into A. Good control. Full man count here for Immortals. They've also got the Glaz in play, bringing it themselves. Could be very powerful. They didn't open up the site drop. They instead decided to open up the hallway drop down so they could throw these grenades. And MK's going for the plant. He's not being countered. Oh, there we go. Finally, gas canisters will go out. Oh, no. C4 misses. Grenades from Navis to try and deny any more counterplant utility. M-King's going to commit fully. He's in the gas canister, so he'll lose his life. And he does not get the plant down. It was seconds away, though, from a successful one. And it's going to be a second attempt here from Bullet. Glaz seeing through the smokes. We can't see it, but he is. Bullet will get the plant down, and in a post-plant, 4 attackers still in play. This is all but 1 for Immortals already.
Another plant down. Nitro cell goes soaring into open area, but won't connect with anyone above on hatch control. You've got Eclipse pushing in through CCTV, but again, you've got Cyber as the Glaz laying prone inside a server in behind the desk. Bullet will clean up one. PX with another. It's all up to Vertical, stuck in Red Hall. PX will drop and secure the round for Immortals. That is 3 consecutive for the Latin American team against Rogue. And suddenly that round, that gap, that chasm that Immortals were facing, the distance is closing 1 round at a time.
I mean, yeah, we're just 2 away from an equal round count here. This is crazy. I don't... Oh boy.
Granted, it would take 7 straight to get to a win without overtime. It would take 6 straight and then losing 1 to get to overtime.
It's definitely possible, though.
It's doable. You're halfway there to at least forcing overtime.
So again, I'll say it. The counterplant utility for Rogue that round was terrible. I have no idea why they're bringing so little, and it's something that they're gonna need to correct. It all comes down to utility. That's it. That's all it is. The grenades from Navis were great, but they didn't matter at all. Those grenades do land in a position to take out anyone trying to C4 you. But again, they don't matter because there's no C4s left. The first one being expended, there wasn't a second to back it up. It's a weird round from Rogue. A weird operator lineup. That's the really curious thing. I mean, here even they're bringing 2 C4. So it's, I don't know. It's CEO defense. Mira's really useful up here.
Yeah, it's a
5 seconds
typical
left.
placement. You have one. Okay, that's actually not the more typical one.
What I missed?
The reinforcement. Oh, it's just a reinforcement
Attackers are
and a
moving
mirror
to defuse the
facing
bomb.
these outside windows, the north windows, from inside Janitor Closet with castle barricade at the back.
Oh.
It is done a few times, but the more standard one would be
It's dangerous.
facing into Janitor.
You gotta imagine he's gonna put a castle barricade on the door behind that one, right?
Yeah, it's already there.
Okay, so castle barricade's gonna enable that position, but yeah, as Flynn said, kind of dangerous play there.
Especially when you got a sledge, an ash. The Glaz, you can still shoot through it. You can't pop open the castle barricade anymore with Glaz, with the 12 shots, but you can still shoot through it.
Really, I thought they removed the ability to shoot through it.
I thought they said they wanted to, but you can still do it.
I honestly
I'm
don't
not
remember.
sure.
They made so many changes with how Glass interacts with the castle barricade, but
Yeah.
I actually never tested it. I had a conversation with somebody about this recently, and there seems to be a lot of confusion
A bomb
about
has
this
been
because,
located.
yeah, I haven't tested it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'd never play Glaz either, so.
Well, we'll find out, I suppose, going into this round. Maybe Cyber will tell us what the truth is. Not sure why he did that.
Yeah.
So if you just go down to the little part where there's
A
like,
little landing, yeah.
yeah, you don't take any damage. He decided to take some damage for some reason.
It's 10 HP in the grand scheme of things. Probably not the difference maker, but if it does
Some
end up
guns,
being,
it's a whole extra bullet.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
If it does end up being the difference maker, and he gets downed off of a weird random spray through a wall, I'm gonna feel pretty bad for him, considering he did some pretty neat parkour, and it'll cost him his life in that eventual hypothetical scenario.
Immortals, taking this very slow. They have someone on rappel or north. They're also pressuring main lobby, but they're not really committing to any one thing. They're just going for a slow take. Cyber's gonna use his smokes to one-way peek this, but he's got a mirror window to deal with, and he's being shot, looks like possibly from below. We're also gonna see bullet go down by the main lobby, so early pick for Rogue. I say early, but we're still 2 minutes into this. I mean, Rogue are in a good position though, having gotten the first kill for the round. Good information being gathered here from Rogue as well, using that heartbeat detector or cardiac sensor. Shuttle's gonna be able to do some more damage from below as he sees the cardiac response from the Glass. Goes for an angle, but misses out on it, and I'm not sure what he was thinking, deciding to come away from PX. His teammates will get 1 kill for each, that's 2 total, and while the Pulse wasn't able to accomplish anything, Immortals are still finding themselves locked out of sight. In a 2 versus 4, this is all but over here for Rogue. In fact, based on time and the fact that there is no diffuser, I don't think it's actually possible for Immortals to get this. They might be able to prove me wrong, though, as they take out easily. We've got PX in sight. He's shut down by Slash. It's just Cyber, alone against 3, pistol out, and round over.
You have run out of
That was one of the slowest attacks I've seen in a while,
Yeah.
and one of the most disjointed attacks as well, where all of Immortals were spread thin. And now we're on match point.
1 round away for Rogue, sending us to Clubhouse, which would be the decider map. Yeah, that whole attacking round, it seemed like they were indecisive as to where they even wanted to push from. They had a double stack on rappels in the north windows. They had a Glaz just putting his face into a giant hole on the left CEO wall. Then they tried to breach open the right CEO wall without doing anything about the mirror. I'm a little lost about that. No attempt at clearing out the bottom, even after being shot from people downstairs halfway through. Just not a lot of entry into the building in general, not a lot of map control, and not a lot of control in general over themselves.
It was a really bad round from Immortals.
Yeah.
Their attack was all over the place. Like I said earlier, almost no substance to it. And Rogue were happy to take that free round. This is much like the 5 rounds we saw in a row for Rogue. Oh, technically 4, I guess, if you don't count the free win that they got for the operator thing. This could be
10 seconds left
a
before
5-4 right now. It could still be a 6-3 even if that round had played out.
5 seconds insertion.
True.
Got some cameras being set up here inside of Garage.
Cover
And
the diffuser. Attackers
basement
objective
defense once
is to
more
defuse the
for
bomb.
Rogue. Now, they have not been able to defend this site yet, or at least not successfully. They've gone to it a few times, but it's been a struggle. This time, though, they brought 2 more C4s than usual.
bring back the Finka and Glaz combo that they've been using quite a lot on these downstairs pushes. It's been working out quite well for them. Cyber's had a field day laying prone in behind that desk inside a server and collecting as many kills as humanly possible in a post-plant scenario. And I think we've harped on them enough for it, but let's reiterate it one more time. Rogue, use your utility to try and stop the plant a little smarter next time.
They have the utility this time. You know, they've got it, right? The C4 is there. So you expect them to be able to do that, but...
I mean, one would hope.
We'll see. They're also not going to be playing by server, though, this time. So there's less time being wasted. Immortals are going to take full advantage of that. As you can see, they're droning straight in. They know it's clear. That's a very efficient take from Immortals so far.
Thermite charge coming out onto the hallway hatch from inside of open area. M-King will blast that wide open and then move his way down to server and pop open the default wall. It's going to be the same push that we've seen over and over again on this map today, and not a lot of alternating strategies you can use considering Hibana and Maverick are both banned out. This is your old hat year one strategy for pushing bank. It still works nowadays. It's just going to come down to the plant coverage.
I mean, there's actually, I don't think any other strats you can feasibly, like, no other good strats.
No other good ones, no.
Yeah, you've got other options, but nothing good. A reset for Navi's upstairs. He'll be back to 50 HP. This could be the last round here. M-King's going for a plant, and he will be denied thanks to the gas canisters from smoke. Takes a lot of damage there, so you can see. Still C4s in play, and more gas canisters in all likelihood, but they were coming down to the last minute only just now. Ooh, this Valkyrie cam is going to be huge for the defense. And M-King going for another attempt. He's committing to it. Gas canister goes off, and the C4 to follow it up. Slash takes down M-King, and that's just one off the board. Still plenty of defenders in play.
Another one will jump in on the reattempt. It's Bullet now, the Ash, the 1 armor, 3 speed, trying to go in for that plant. Won't be able to absorb as many shots from the backside as someone should vault. Another Nitro Cell sent out, and there it goes. Easily will connect on a headshot to Navi's as well. Vertical slashing through Bullet with the Nitro Cell. It's down to a 5v2. Cyber as the Glaz, the only man who can see through the smoke, is now trying to attempt to complete the plant. 20 seconds left, and he'll get it off. Turn and whip and shoot, but it'll all be errands. And now PX lining up at the bottom of the server stairs. They all come rushing in for him, able to acquire 2, but that will end us on map number 2. Rogue will send us to Clubhouse on a 7-3 victory over Immortals on bank.
What a round win there from Rogue. They found out what the issue was. Not enough counter plant utility. And what did they do? They brought a bunch more.
It works out for them, and one of their strongest maps remains undefeated for them in recent history.
Yeah, 4-0-0 on bank. Very well done. So we're going to have a quick 4-minute break while we get ready for map number 3. And once we get to it, it'll be Clubhouse. Okay, no break, apparently. Never mind.
You lied.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
We tried.
Yeah.
A for effort. There will be replays.
Replays, though.
So if you want to watch some replays of what that map was like, which will most likely end up being a lot of those default plant attempts and a lot of kills in the resulting chaos that came from it. Yeah, that map, I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about with that map. Rogue made some mistakes later on. They corrected them eventually. Immortals tried to bring it back, but it's a 5-0 deficit, right? You're only going to get so far with that. So Clubhouse is now the focus for both of these teams, and I think I've said it 25 times so far in this best of 3, but did you know it's do or die?
Yes.
I'm not doing my job as a caster if I don't say it's do or die every 5 sentences.
You win this series or you go home unhappy. You don't want to get eliminated in the group stages, so yeah, not a good situation for whoever it is who loses this last map. Of course, it is a map that Rogue has very much a better record on so far in this season. We've been told that it is Clubhouse, and I think it is. Right now we're in border in the lobby, so who knows? We'll find out when we actually go in. Yeah. That's weird. Is it border? We'll find out. Anyway, Immortals, as you can see, hyping themselves up, getting focused for this match, and they're inches away from defeat or victory. I mean, it's only going to be this last map to decide which it's going to end up being. We will have Clubhouse as that final map.
Yep.
Rogue has a much better record on this one than Immortals. Again, Immortals having won it once, drawn it once, and lost it once. Rogue, on the other hand, two wins here, nothing else. That's it. So it's a good spot for Rogue right now, and certainly looking like it could be their series in the long run.
The amount of hard breacher bans we've seen in this set too, there's been a Hibana and a Mav ban on both maps. I would be hard-pressed to imagine that we don't get those same attacker bans again on Clubhouse, considering how dominant that would make the defending side.
Yeah.
Which is the telltale story we've seen on Clubhouse every single game for the recent history.
We've also got Immortals starting on defense and Rogue on attack, which means that Immortals are going to have a pretty substantial advantage going into this match.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they manage to take a good amount of rounds in the first half and get themselves some, kind of momentum going in their direction.
All right. Well, apparently we've got a video to show you before we get underway on Clubhouse. Map number 3, we'll be right back.
My name is Parker Mackay. A lot of people probably know me better as Intero. I am a Rainbow Six Siege caster. A feeling of honor and of privilege to be one of these people celebrated at the Invitational. It's surreal. The first one will remain one of the most iconic events that I've ever been to in my life. It feels like a family reunion. People fly in from all over the world, and it's just a big weekend of recognition for people who put their lives into making this game and this community as great as it is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got to look at Parker's face and hear his voice, even while he's not here.
Like we don't do that enough.
It's the greatest torture of all time. Still waiting to get underway for Clubhouse. Map number 3, the decider for this elimination match in Group B. Will it be a second Latin American team to take the axe, or will it be our first North American death in the Six Invitational?
And we're about to find out, but we gotta wait to see as, of course, we're having all the players get ready before we actually load into the match, because you need 5 versus 5, and we're waiting for the coin toss to happen so that we can see who's going to be starting on what side, what the actual advantage, who's actually going to get the advantage, or at least I believe that's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah. So, waiting to see who's going to be on which side, and that will kind of, like you said, dictate the opening flow of the game.
Because defense. I thought it was going to be Immortals who started on defense, because I thought we had the coin toss already done, but I guess not.
Go the other way?
Absolutely. And I guarantee you whoever wins that coin toss is going to pick defense.
Have a very fun time on defense.
Oh, yeah.
And I imagine those, like I said, those hard breacher bans probably going to come out. Maybe you take away a Monty.
I see whoever loses the coin toss not banning one of the hard breachers, and maybe the Monty, like you said, or maybe a Glass. Both teams have been using a lot of Glass. So one of the teams feels like they've been struggling with Glass, then maybe that's going to be something that gets taken out. Slash has been on top of Glass all day as well, so it's worth noting.
It looks like, with everyone swapping sides right now in the lobby, I'm going to assume Rogue on defense, but I will wait to have that clarified.
Yeah, straight up assumption, but I think you're right. Rogue are pushing their way over onto defense right now, which means they will be the ones who have an advantage. Man, that is... If so, that's a crushing blow for Immortals. That's going into this map and you're just not in a good spot.
Yeah.
You just lost the last map, and quite decisively so, 7-3, and you have to attack first.
He also went down 5-0 on Bank.
Yeah.
With the way we've seen Clubhouse been going this week, there is a pretty strong likelihood they might be in that same scenario heading into the second half, down 5-1. We've seen a lot of 5-1s. 4-2 is more the norm. If you get away with a 3-3, you are doing pretty well in attack on Clubhouse.
And it is
an unfortunate circumstance. And
it's going to be Rogue on defense. That's huge.
They keep getting some of these breaks, man. I don't know. They go up 5-0 on map number 2. They make a lot of mistakes on Oregon and still walk away pushing it to the absolute maximum round, 8-7 final in favor of Immortals. Then you go to Bank, obviously. They have their initial start, and then now you get the first defensive start on Clubhouse.
This looks like Range is joining the team now. He's going to go straight in. He's a player now.
I mean, he's done it before.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Looks like he's trying to tell Eclipse something very important. You could see it on his face. Overall, though, everybody's got to get ready and get this match underway. It's going to be a really close one, I'm sure.
I actually saw Eclipse this morning in the hotel, and I hadn't seen him with his glasses before, and I actually thought it was Kev.
Really?
To me, they look a lot alike when they have the
They're
glasses.
similar heights.
Yeah, they are both pretty lanky, pretty tall.
Eclipse is a little bit taller, though. Like, just like, I'd say 2-3 inches, but Eclipse is dude, he is so tall. It's crazy. When you see him up, in person, I mean, maybe it's just I'm really short.
Maybe.
What are you? You're like 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'1", 6'2".
6'2"?
Something in that range.
Yeah, and I'm like 5 something, I don't know.
5'8", 5'9".
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was around 5'6", to be honest.
Oh, hell no.
But I'm a very short individual, and Eclipse is a tower. Anyway, enough of that banter. We're actually going to get into the match, ladies and gentlemen. Map number 3, a Rogue on defense, a huge advantage going into Clubhouse. Immortals starting on attack, and that's going to put them in a tricky spot. Habana being banned out is going to aid the defense oh so very much, or they aren't going to have to worry about nearly as many drop-downs being opened up. The question is, will it be a second hard breacher ban? What's your prediction?
I'm going to say no. I agree with you. They're probably going to take something else out, maybe the Glaz or the Monty. And
What?
We were kind of correct, but Blackbeard on...
Oh!
What?
What was that? Okay, no, Rogue versus SSG. Map number 1, Villa. Rogue does this thing where they bring Maverick and Blackbeard, and they open up holes with Maverick, and they play a Blackbeard behind it. But,
There you go.
But, Immortals doesn't want to ban 2 hard breachers, because that puts them in a really, really terrible spot, because
the other tool.
they don't have enough hard breachers. So, yeah, they take out the Wombo from the combo, and they just leave you with a Maverick. Yeah, you can open those holes, but Slash can no longer use Blackbeard to play through them and have a one-way angle. That is a crippling blow to Rogue if they were going to employ that strategy, and it is very likely that they would have.
I'd imagine so, and that's smart from Immortals. Honestly.
Very smart.
To be able to read into that, obviously doing their homework, as all teams here should. CCTV cash room will be our initial ingress point.
You saw they deliberated on that one as well quite a lot. They were like, should we ban the second
They're thinking about it.
second hard breacher, or should we just get rid of the Blackbeard? I think that Blackbeard was the right call. But
Yes, absolutely.
here's the thing. At least Glaz in play.
Yep.
And we've seen Glaz used by both teams. Cyber's going to bring it right here. And I think both teams have had success with it. But Slash was having a heck of a match on Bank with Glaz, I got to say. And on Oregon. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Flash is just on today, and honestly, if you're gonna pick a time to show up and really be hot with something especially as powerful as Glaz, the elimination game, usually a pretty good time to show up.
Absolutely agree with you there. It's going to be a CCTV cash defense for Rogue initially. They haven't brought any ACOGs here on defense. It's really interesting. A lot of long angles to be played on this site, especially. And usually you'll have somebody like a Doc playing inside of Garage using that ACOG, but not so for Rogue. They've got a lot of C4s here.
Attackers have recovered their
Yeah, maybe
diffuser.
that's not a lot.
Attackers
They've
must
got 2
locate
C4s. They got the
and defuse bomb.
anti-throwables or projectiles in Jaeger. Legion, who is always useful no matter what. And Smoke, who I guess is also... I wonder if we're trying to think now, is there any really bad sight for Smoke? Like, I don't think so. I think he's always good, huh?
I cannot think of one off the top of my head.
Yeah, so Smoke
would be terrible.
Smoke and Legion in the same kind of area
Yeah.
in terms of usefulness. Immortals going to use the Maverick that they did not ban to go ahead and start opening up that server wall. Or at least they will eventually.
Okay.
For that, though, obviously takes out Eclipse.
He's going for 2, and he's in back and forth engagement. It's Furt winning out this engagement right now, but he locks out a Nitro Cell. Oh, great reaction to snap back. He might be able to recover his Nitro Cell, but he's being pressed upon from Lounge now. Full retreat, and I think he's giving up on the Nitro Cell. He's going to sacrifice that for being able to trade out Navis and rip straight downstairs. No one cutting him off from dirt, as that was a common tactic earlier today on Clubhouse, to hold off anyone playing in those new blue stairs. So he makes it to safety, and he's also calling out a member of the the Rogue defense. Oh, the
Immortals attack.
yeah, the overlays.
It's okay. No, I got you, man. The overlays are reversed, so just keep in mind the teams are wrong on the top. But don't worry about that for now. Easily with the push into the main door, and he's going to take down Bullet inside the lounge. He's going for more frags, and Vertical's going to support him, getting one onto Cyber. That's 2 for Vertical in this round. He's on low HP, but the damage is done. And just M-King and PX in 1, or rather 2 versus 4.
A lot of time left here, and they're both going to stack up on one another outside of Stock door and try and push in. The amount of pressure, though, being clamped upon Stock and Lounge and the top of stage inside of Bar. This is an unlikely push here for the rest of Immortals, M-King, and PX. I imagine they're going to give up on this, looking through kill holes in the floor, and most likely just try and breach the wall on top of CCTV, the little balcony. And they're getting into another skirmish through these holes, and it's not really going the way of PX right now. Back and forth, finally, easily will fall. So Vertical's on low HP. This is doable for Immortals, but 40 seconds now tick away, not a lot left.
Changing mags.
And again, they will now stack outside on the square wall, or the CCTV reinforced wall, whichever you want to call it. You still have Rafters control from Shuttle right now, and the Toxic Babe, the first one coming out from Slash. He can chain those together for all 30 remaining seconds. There's not a lot of entryway here for M-King to try and facilitate a plant. They're going to walk into a crossfire. Looks like M-King and PX are both identifying this.
15 seconds remaining.
A last-ditch attempt to get some Rafters control and push through for the plant, but
10 seconds
faking
remaining.
out a peek and walking into Elysian Mine. Now M-King's got nowhere to go. They'll dance around outside, not really make any impact or entry into the building. The round timer will expire, and Rogue will take the first round on
Operators, you are out of
defense,
time.
which is not very shocking.
Great roam there from Vertical. Able to get those 2 kills early on, and I mean, at no point there did it seem like Immortals really had a plan, to be honest with you. They were pushing somebody downstairs, I believe it was a Buck, to try and do some damage from Lounge, move some anchors, but it really didn't accomplish anything. Overall, a really good round from Rogue, Vertical, again, specifically. But I don't know. It was more. I feel like it was more of a bad round from Immortals than it was a good round from Rogue. We saw a really poor setup on that attack. It didn't seem like they had any clear objective. After they lost some manpower, they faltered, and what was it? 2 still alive when the timer expired?
Yep.
I mean, I understand you're saving stats, but why? It's an elimination match. You're gone after this. You lose here, it's done. There is no reason in this universe to not put the pedal to the metal and try everything.
You should give it a shot. I mean, they were so indecisive on their approach that they wanted to take. It was bouncing back and forth between the Stock doors, so they walk in Stock. Oh, you get a kill through the floor holes. Okay, try and tack onto that. Try and push through and chain that together into some more success. There was still 40 seconds when they then just sat outside of the new blue stairs and floundered back and forth, and there was no progress being made. And it seems like that's been the story for Immortals for a while now.
Yeah, I mean, over the last 2 maps, we've seen 3 victories from Immortals, pardon me, and it's been a tricky one for them. Only 1 defense win, 2 attack wins. We'll see if they can change their luck. I don't know. I don't see it happening. Right now, Rogue seem to be in the momentum swing. Immortals kind of shut down. Not quite as much as we've seen some other people shut down Rogue. I mean, that Ninjas in Pajamas earlier today was a lot more extreme. But again, Rogue the favorite team in this best of 3. We'll see. Vertical challenging on blue stairs, and he's just going to fall back. Will he be allowed to retreat all the way is the question. It looks like he will, thanks to the Legion traps. After they detonate, though, Vertical wary of that peak.
Also knowing that he was going up against a C8 with the telltale signs. Knowing that there's going to be some frag grenades in the back pocket of Bullet. And there's also a pinch coming down from towards Oil Pit. And was looking like it was going to be Cyber, but now Cyber and Bullet will trade positions. Cyber will now establish his position of strength with that fluorescent scope at the top of blue stairs and wait for Bullet to push in. And ooh, this is a good play here from Vertical, being able to ADS trick should he really feel the need to. Although it'll be the smokes drop down into the middle of the stairwell that will be super powerful for Cyber when he tries to push through and clear out Vertical.
An attempted pick there from Eclipse, and BX Gotta get away from that without any damage done. The cardiac sensor being detected by Navi's IQ, a very potent weapon in this scenario, especially considering Echo is left unbanned, which is an oddity. Echo is going to be either an essential pick, or IQ is going to be essential function in taking out his yokai drones. Either or, the attack needs that one of those two to happen in order to get a defuse plan in all likelihood. Rogue have done a decent job at holding on to this basement so far, but it's all peripheral skirmishes at this point, and nothing really happening for either teams just yet.
You got Cyber throwing down his last remaining smoke grenade. He's choking a little bit on toxic fumes. He'll push straight through, stuck in the barbed wire, and Eclipse will blast him into the stratosphere with the shotgun. And it's a multiple-person lineup for Immortals up against the church wall, trying to Maverick and Thermite the church wall, and they're having no success doing so right now. You still have the impact troops coming over the edge. Another one will detonate and stop the exothermic charge from detonating entirely. Navi's holding a very tight angle in towards the hallway rotate, but Eclipse at point-blank range. No time remaining as Navi's will trade out Eclipse with slash out right on the money. M-King, another one. They go back and forth, but no time. You still have Yokai's up. Vertical inside of Blue holding down an extreme crossfire onto that church door, and now they'll try and facilitate a rotate. Once again, PX and M-King left alone. Vertical will chew through PX. It's just M-King alone. Diffuser in hand, and Vert with the pre-fire will line up perfectly on the head of M-King as he rushes straight through. You see the celebrations of Rogue as they continue some of that defensive dominance from Bank.
What a terrible attack from Immortals.
Honestly.
It was the same thing as we saw last round.
How many times have we said that?
Yeah, I mean, they've been having a tricky day today. That first map went the full distance, and we talked about, I remember when we finished that first map, and it was both of us saying pretty much just, yeah, both teams had really bad match.
Yeah.
And Immortals made slightly less mistakes. On Bank, Rogue love Bank. It's obvious by their record, and they weren't making nearly as many mistakes. Here on Clubhouse, it's the same story. Rogue are totally in love with this map. They play it very well, and they've got a good record here. Immortals, on the other hand, not so much. And they're making the same mistakes that they've been making all day. That time management, and strat diversity. Also, poor use of the exothermic charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to be able to get that church wall open.
An impact trick multiple times over.
And Maverick first to deny the potential impacts, and then exothermic if you're worried about something like that, especially if the thing is open on above. Here's the tricky thing, though. Technically speaking, you can impact through some Maverick holes depending on how, depending on the hole.
Oh yeah.
So there is potential for you making more opportunities for an impact trick. The thing is, it's a two-way street, right? When you make that hole, it's either going to get you a kill on someone who's attempting the impact trick, or it's going to cause you to die on somebody who's avoiding the impact trick and instead just challenging the hole.
Yep.
It totally depends, and it's up to Immortals to gauge that situation. They gauged poorly in the last round, and they lost because of it.
I think it's also fair to mention it's defense on Clubhouse.
It's true. I mean,
you're gonna win a lot of rounds on the defensive side if you're Rogue, but you're right. The mid-round adaptations from Immortals have just been subpar. They can't seem to face resistance and come up with a solution to their problem. They continue to drive their heads against a concrete wall over and over again, and clearly, it has not been the solution. You can see the IQ down below for Navi. He's just picking apart all the electronics. It's a gym bedroom defense with a heavy cash presence right now for Rogue.
I have no idea what just happened, but clearly something really amazing just happened on stream A.
Yep.
Because, boy, was it loud. We could hear
every casting booth around here erupt. Yep.
We could hear the screaming from over here. So something's going on that stream A. Don't know what it is, but boy.
It's the game between SSG and Empire, that's for sure.
Yeah. Apparently, at least a map ended is my guess. It looks like that's the result, but we'll see what happens later on. We'll have an update for you guys moving forward. Here in this match, as you can see, M-King toying with the smoke. SMG-11, it's hard to land shots onto the drone, and he finally will land it, but a lot of distraction there. Easly's going to down Bullet. PX also on low HP. That was underneath the castle barricade with an MPX, which does very little damage. Vertical eliminates Navi's from above. Great job to Vertical getting that kill. Bullet will be picked up So that's a pretty big recovery there from the attackers. Grenade being lobbed over, but it's called out, and Slash is able to rotate out just in the nick of time. Easily has a C4. He can open this angle, but he doesn't need to. He's going to choose to play under the castle barricade once again. Glaz will be to the advantage of Cyber, who takes down Eclipse inside of Office. Low HP for every single Immortals player, but they still got plenty of time. They're finally going for the exothermic on that bathroom wall. Vertical will shut down Cyber, though, so the smoke bandit of Glaz is no longer available. Bullet's gonna take down easily. Slash onto PX. It's a constant back and forth, but still Rogue in the advantageous position. Shotgun blast from Immortals and M-King as well to get one for each. Bullet and M-King now in a 1 versus 2. Shuttle's got the HP advantage. Lots of marks coming out. Yokai drones giving a lot of information. The QE there from the Buck is going to gather information for his own, though. And he's just distracting right now for his teammate to come up and double peek it. Shuttle eats a little bit of damage, but the bearing 9's out, and he'll miss the shots. What a try there from Shuttle. But somehow, M-King and Bullet will clutch it out. 2 against the world. I don't know how they won that.
What? Okay, I'm confused on both sides. First of all, if you're PX and Bullet there, you have a 2v1. You're going against an Echo. You have Diffuser. You should probably start pushing with less than 7 seconds to try and get a plant going. But then you find Shuttle in the middle of the room. And then Shuttle, who has Yokai's up still, because clearly he was getting all the pings from all the information being relayed, doesn't stay in construction and try to wait it out. There were 2 Yokai blasts available on his Echo drone because he'd barely been using it. I'm a little lost on both sides on that one, but Immortals come away with it, and they cut the lead in half, and it'll return Rogue to CCTV and cash. It's a pretty good look for Immortals, at least bringing 1 back early on. It's whether or not they can chain this into a little bit of success, and if they can win this one right here, then they're fine for the rest of the half. They can drop to 4-2 and still be able to run it back on defense, no problem.
Flashbacks of map number 1.
Yeah.
From that last round. Both teams making a whole heck of a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Just one made a little bit more, and that was Rogue. There was no access to site for Immortals
10 seconds to go.
other than that one doorway. So even in a 1 versus 2, really should have been a clutch from the Echo. I want to say Shuttle.
Yep.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Could be.
Anyway.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
Seems to be the story with this game between these 2 teams. It could be.
This is a
but
messy,
it's not.
this is a messy match, man.
Very scrappy.
This is a very, very messy match. So, Immortals attacking on to Cash. Set themselves up to try and cover those runouts. Got pre-made hole there. Actually, it's going to be a made hole just now. Looks like from above by the Deagle there making that. Navi's has already worked his way into stock, and he can actually potentially pressure into Lounge, but he's worried about the spray coming from Jaeger inside of Garage. Rightfully so. That's some damage that can be done pretty easily if Lounge is a bait and switch. Navi's will eat some damage directly above him, and that's going to be inside of Cash. The vertical play here for Rogue is putting pressure on any people coming from below.
Well, spoiler alert, again, if you don't want to hear it, mute the stream for the next 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Empire wins 2-0 against Space Station Gaming, and they advance to the playoffs, going 2-0 inside of Group B. So that means the winner of this game will move on, and it could be a rematch between Rogue and Space Station, but the winner of this game will move on to play Space Station. The loser of this game goes home. We're almost done Group B.
Right, you are. That's an impressive record for Empire, who continue their streak of absolute domination now, not only in Europe, but also internationally. Here in this match, half the round is already transpired. Rogue are in a great position to lock it out, but it's going to be made much worse as M-King takes out Vertical. It's a very good pick. The pulse to boot, which means vertical pressure is alleviated. The potential C4s from below non-existent. But it was a run out from the pulse, and it'll be a follow-up run out from Easily. I have no idea what Rogue is thinking, but they will equalize because of their thought process. Slashhog trying to challenge onto Bullet, but he will lose the fight. Low HP there on Bullet as on Navi's, but still a manpower advantage.
Shuttle in Rafters will get just eviscerated by the F2 of Navi's as he sprints straight in. A flank, though, from easily at the bottom of Cash Stairs. The second one for him on the round. Eclipse still holding down sight. So they've lost the Rafters control. The diffuser is being passed between two members as they rush in through the plume of smoke. And, oh, there goes a Nitro Cell directly on the Maverick. And there goes PX falling. 3 for now. Navi's will trade out easily, but Eclipse through the wall. A 1v1 now, 20 seconds, and Cyber has a diffuser peeking the doorway. Oh, what a shot by Cyber! Beautiful clutch, and Immortals will grab 2 consecutive on the attack on Clubhouse. One more, and you can almost put it in the books for them.
That was an incredible shot to clutch the round. Hands down, should have been a Rogue round right there. Great job. Too easily on that Valkyrie, just was not enough weight being pulled, and Immortals managed to take it on some excellent glass play. I mean, there were a couple curious plays in that round from both teams, of course, as per usual in this match. But, yeah, Immortals made slightly fewer mistakes, as is normal. There was very little time in that round. I'm surprised the Legion didn't just try to play time.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen, and now Rogue find themselves
Well, the most
even.
unfortunate point about that, too, is it's Shuttle in back-to-back rounds in a 1v2, and got nothing right now.
Okay, he's not even on the scoreboard yet. With 2 potentially very easy clutches that could have left us in a 4-0, but it's not all his fault, if we're being honest. You know, the rest of the team had their chances to influence the round, so...
in 1v2,
yeah,
so it's fair to criticize the rest of the team.
Shuttle is getting put in really bad situations. You can't necessarily blame him for not always persevering. But, yeah, it's been a tricky one for all of Rogue. As much as we have an even round count, it really should be a 4-0.
That's the thing. Very winnable situations. While they weren't the most favorable, there was time constraints against Immortals. There were mistakes made that Rogue could have made them suffer.
Reminds me of Immortals.
Yeah.
Sorry, why did I say Immortals? Well, I mean, yes, Immortals. It reminds me of more. Both teams are playing the same way almost.
Same, yeah.
But I actually wanted to say it reminds me of Oregon. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
so
okay.
we were Oregon when we had it was a long one, and it's just one team was looking so strong, and then they start making a bunch of mistakes, and then the other team's looking super strong, and then they start making a bunch of mistakes. It's back and forth and back and forth. I could see us having a similar map. Shuttle's gonna start the flow of this ebb and flow by taking out Maverick. It's a good kill there from Shuttle, and also his first kill.
I'm just curious about this communication. I guess M-King as the Thermite didn't want to be the one to press the engagement, but he was looking down below for bottom garage
by attackers.
as compared to Rafters, where his teammate had died from. But Eclipse falls in.
It's a very
Lounge door.
Very dangerous way to play inside a garage. I think he's trying to impact trick the garage walls. It's the only reason I can imagine he's playing like that.
Doesn't sound like it worked, unless that was the balcony wall outside of CCTV. It was. Okay. So you get wall open. You've already used both exothermic charges. Has M-King. Easily will tack on, though, taking down Bullet. Slashing has been down in the process on the objective, but easily recoverable. And there he goes, back up to 50 HP. So you still have Raptors control from Shuttle this time, as opposed to Eclipse playing in here. Seems like a pretty good lockout right now for Rogue. There's not a lot of access, although Navi's pushing through off screen. Will take down Slashug, and there goes your smoke. That was through windows. There's a peek hole into Cash through the construction wall. Wide peek coming out now from easily up against that construction window. And a minute ticking away, you still have Cyber with smokes, who might be able to be the catalyst in this round to propel Immortals into taking a lead on the attacking side of Clubhouse, which would be monumental. Easily take a few shots to the backside from Navi's, and a flurry of flashbangs go descending down the hallway, and there goes M-King taken down easily. Another one for M-King as Eclipse will fall too. It's a double stack on the balcony, and all of a sudden this has turned into a nightmare scenario for Rogue. Vertical and Shuttle need to clutch this out. They cannot surrender 3 rounds on Clubhouse on the defensive side. Shrouded in smoke as Cyber as he inches closer and closer to the window, and he wins it out. It's all up to Vertical now in a 1v3 playing below, but there's 30 seconds. That's a lot of time to bait out the plan. He's got no clue which one to go for, and he won't even utilize the Nitro Cell. Having the Valkyrie cameras launches it skyward, but Navi's will win it out. Immortals with 3 straight attacking rounds on Clubhouse.
Remember that 5 versus 3 that Rogue found themselves in?
Remember what I said? It was going to be an easy lockout.
Remember how I didn't verbally agree with you, but everyone in their minds did?
Yeah. Because it should have been.
Dude, what the heck?
What is this game?
What is this game? This match is one of the most confusing matches of Siege I've watched in a while, and it comes at the Invitational group stages. Like,
In a group that is stupidly stacked, too.
yeah, this is really weird.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot of mistakes being made by Rogue all at once to give 3 picks to the enemy. And then the last 2 players like, whoa, whoa, better play it safe. But then they played it too safe. Glaz was allowed to get an easy pick onto the Jaeger, and the Pulse didn't even try to C4 from below. There was no way that he was going to bring that back without doing some damage vertically. Like, he didn't use his advantage. I don't know why. I don't know, man. This has been a really, really confusing match.
Attackers have located a bomb.
And this last map, yeah, I mean, it's playing into that. It's more of the same. What can I say?
It's also just, like I said, it's 3 rounds won on the attacking side in Clubhouse. That might
5
not be
seconds to
monumental on other maps. That is monumental in this.
But Flynn, it's
Attackers recovered the bomb
3
diffuser.
rounds that
Attackers are
really
moving
should
to
have
the bomb.
been defensive wins.
Oh, yeah, it should be a 5-0, let's be honest.
Without question, this should be a 5-0.
Yeah. So it's either Rogue is going to have to get the same kind of help that Immortals are getting right now from their opposing team, or it's going to be a bad look for Rogue, and they might be chilling. They're going to be chilling back at the hotel for a very, very long time this week.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, based on the performance from Rogue yesterday, I was expecting that. Like, I'm being real with you. They had a really bad day. But I don't know. That second map bank looked so good, and we look at the record here for Rogue, and they're supposed to be just as good here on Clubhouse, and I just haven't been having a good performance in the last 3 rounds. They looked fantastic in the first 2. It's so back and forth, Robert. I don't understand.
Honestly, it's an enigma right now. I cannot quantify what Rogue are doing and how they're screwing this up so hard.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any basis of strategy or anything like that,
No.
or individual play being exceptional. It's just whoops.
Yeah, it's just simple.
But it's not just Rogue. I mean, you know, Immortals made a bunch of mistakes in the first 2 rounds as well, so it's back and forth. It really is.
I mean, there were plenty of mistakes made by Immortals on both Bank and Oregon. It's not like Rogue is the lone culprit here. It's just, at this point, the most pivotal point in the entire best of 3. Immortals are 4 rounds away from knocking Rogue out in group stages and sending one of the best teams in North America, the team that should be one of the best teams in North America, 0-2 in groups.
Yeah, have been considered to be for one of the best teams for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know, it'd be weird if that changed, but who knows. Is that an unreinforced panel in church?
No, it's just reinforcement.
Okay, other side. Just, all right. Good. Well, Slash is playing inside of church, and he's looking to call out some heartbeats. Got a lot of information being gathered. Again, Navi's does it. He just keeps getting these picks.
That's the Echo.
By the way, if it weren't for Navi's, this series would be over right now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, Navi's has just been fragging non-stop for this.
Been a freight train just running straight through Rogue. That's the Echo, easily all the way in dirt. What a bad spot from him, and now Dirt's completely surrendered. PX is pushing it as the Maverick. You've got hatch control on Kitchen. 30 seconds left, though, so they really got to send it here.
It's going to be Immortals pushing their way into tunnel. These 2 people there. Bit of a tricky Maverick hole, but he makes it work. This is because Navi's was able to get that pick earlier. Bullet's going to take out Eclipse, and he'll get a second one onto Shuttle. This is complete domination for Immortals so far. Vertical will refrag onto Bullet, and one more for Slash Hug. Slash gets his second as well. PX takes down Vertical, putting us into a 1-on-1 though, because M King is down. There's so little time. The diffuser's down. PX has to rush it, but he's not going to look the right way. What a clutch from Slash Hug, and he wins the round almost by himself.
Okay, we want to talk about mistakes being made. You had a 5v2, Immortals. You had a 5v2, and Slash just kind of ran train on you. Wow, it is a back and forth game of who can
mess it up more?
Bad the most.
No, we can't take away from Slash. That was a great round from him.
That was incredible.
Yeah, really, truly impressive round from Slash, and you got to hand it to him. CCTV cash room, the next defense for Immortals, and actually I say the next, it's the first defense for Immortals.
Switch sides.
Yeah, so first half done. Immortals won that first half.
Yep.
Hands down. Ending at 3-3.
Dude.
It's a really good situation to be in, but Rogue have got to be amped up after that clutch from Slash. It would have been even worse if not for that.
Oh yeah, you walk away with 4 attacking rounds on Clubhouse. Good, the game is over. The game is over unless you absolutely throw to the nth degree. The 3-3 split is still pretty darn good. Like you said, Immortals definitely won the first half there. Rogue is gonna need some help, and it's gonna have to come in the form of Immortals also making some of those same mental mistakes that they were making on maps previous. They aren't innocent in all of this. It's been a very, very ugly game. But sometimes you just gotta scrape your way through ugly games and push through, and you're halfway through the final map, what could possibly be your final map of the entire week. Leave it all on the line, do the best you can if you're Rogue in this situation, having put yourselves on a back foot by your own performance.
So, Rogue, their first ever attacking round on this map. This is gonna be really important. Of course, every round matters, but to start your second half off, if Rogue are able to take this, they're still very much in the match. If they don't take it, this should be an easy lockout for Immortals.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Bring the tandem of Maverick and Thermite, just as Immortals did on their attacking sides, and it's the same primary bomb site, at least for Immortals, that Rogue brought out, initiating on Cash and CCTV, and here we go. No Blackbeard, though, as you mentioned. Blackbeard being banned out by Immortals as this play that was done on Villa. Vert taking another double look there, seeing if he wanted to do any more feed holes than that with the flow torch, but now
Doesn't seem so.
there's nothing on the wall anyway other than a mute jammer, so no worries about a bandit trick.
This is big whoops here from Rogue, what they're trying to do to open this wall. They're tripping over themselves several times over.
It's taking a lot of time, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Like, fortunately for them, Immortals isn't trying to challenge it directly.
They honestly could, and there goes Eclipse following Navi's downstairs. Looked like that was towards front door. He just walks out front door from the top of stage and trying to push in the bottom portion of garage panels. Eclipse will be felled. The Glads of Slash trying to fire in and thread the needle in through these rafters.
Not an easy
That's
shot.
not going to be, even with the fluorescent scope, there's
He's not even peeking it.
box that'll glow and won't actually connect.
Drop the bomb diffuser.
Wow.
He's gonna lose the fight there, and as Slash goes down, he's finished off. Bullet also takes down Shuttle, which means it's a 2 versus 5 for Rogue. I've always seen crazier things happen, and it looks like Bullet really wants to throw the round, but he will get wise to that play and fall back. Navi's takes out easily. Could be a perfect round if this is played correctly here from Immortals, but it likely won't matter. It'll be a win for them regardless. Bullet takes the final kill, and Immortals take their first defense, which could be very telling of the overall result of this match. But I'm done predicting things because...
Yeah, this is not the game where you predict things.
Nope.
This is where predictions go to die.
Yep.
Church Arsenal coming out next for Immortals, and they look to continue their same dominating run after one round, albeit. But a flawless round, as you mentioned. No deaths on their side. A lot of damage taken, to be honest. A lot of damage taken on the side of Immortals. However, no conversions for Rogue on their attempted engagements. And I mean, it turned into Immortals stacking up on everything. There were 2 people peeking the same angle over and over and over again, and it looked like Rogue in their 1v1s were just overwhelmed.
It did certainly feel that way. I mean, Immortals have been winning the majority of their 1v1s. Again, I'm going to point a finger at Navi's, who has just been fragging non-stop, dude, through this whole series. He seems indomitable, and it's very impressive to see him performing as he is against a team such as Rogue. On attack, Rogue is in a really tricky spot. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Immortals had some good strategies. Sorry, I retract that statement.
Okay.
Immortals had some really bad strategies on attack.
Yeah.
But
It worked.
they worked. Why? Because Rogue went for a lot of unnecessary peeks and plays that ended up costing them substantial amounts of manpower. But that's first half. First half is done. So far, we haven't seen many crazy plays from Immortals, but when we do see them, they're not punished by Rogue. That's the main difference maker. Immortals are making aggressive plays, and they're getting away with it. Not nearly as many, of course.
Yeah, it was Rogue
But
taking
still.
a lot of shots towards the end zone there. Just a lot of Hail Mary plays, and Immortals were punishing them extremely hard. And like you said, Immortals, I don't think they were going for like the full-blown crazy plays. Maybe Cyber on Oregon was getting a little out of hand, but since then, it's not really been Immortals going absolutely insane on the aggression play.
No, certainly not. And I do wholeheartedly believe that if Rogue just focuses up and punishes some of the things that Immortals are doing, then... I mean, maybe not on a basement defense. On a basement defense, everybody plays full anchor, right? They play smart, they play safe. But when attacking at the least the top floor, and Cash, Jim, we've been seeing a lot of aggression from both squads. And well, I say from both squads. We haven't seen Immortals defend Jim yet. I'm sure we will, though, see some aggressive plays from Immortals.
Oh, yeah.
Only time will tell, but oh, you betcha. Anyway,
Can't wait for it.
if those get shut down by Rogue, then I'm sure that they can bring this back. But again, being in this position, it's just such an advantage to Immortals, the fact that they managed to go even on the first split. Well, I mean, that's all just speculation. Still have the exothermic charges on the hands of Easily. PX is set up for a pre-placed a predetermined C4 right over this barricade. He's waiting for the thermite to give himself away. The Mute Jammers are covering this, so it's hard for Rogue to figure this out, but it's gonna actually be a call. Slash will get his drone into sight, and he will say, hey, careful the C4. And it's a bait out there. Good job. He hit the barbed wire and he ran away, and he will also take out Navi. So Easily not only just killed Navis, but he also wasted a C4, and that's just about as good as it gets. Well done to Easily managing that. Vertical going to be opening up a horizontal line on this church wall, and he's going to do a couple more, just trying to disrupt the anchors inside of church.
You see the challenging coming out from right behind the bar. That's PX, close range SMG-11, and Vertical trying to establish a longer angle in towards blue. Looks like he's double checking and double thinking about whether or not he wanted to extend those holes. Asphyxiating Bolt at the feet of PX and not doing any damage, and Bullet will take down easily. Vertical, though, on a trade onto Bullet right back. 26 seconds, he's near the Yokai's ringing out, and there goes Slash shredded from blue. Vert back and forth, but he gets down, point blank. It's all up to Shuttle suddenly in a 1v3. PX will clean up his final down. Shuttle right up in the kill holes will grab one onto PX, but he's still disoriented. Diffuser in hand, just twisting and turning in the wind, and there's nothing to be done now. Taking damage from myriads of angles, and M-King will close it out. Immortals on an unstoppable run, 2 rounds away from the decider game against Space Station Gaming.
Certainly seems like Immortals are going to be able to take this thanks to the advantage of now getting to defend. The momentum has shifted in their favor. Rogue do not have enough tools in their back pocket to whip out and give themselves an advantage. I wholeheartedly believe the Blackbeard ban was crippling to the way that Rogue attacks on this map. If they had had Blackbeard in that scenario, we would have seen a challenge from those Maverick holes, and 2 people from Rogue would not have died thanks to Blackbeard's existence. It is worth noting that Blackbeard is much less viable on LAN, but the strategy has worked for Rogue in the past. And yeah, they lost their match, but they had some decent rounds because of that Blackbeard. All said and done, though, in that round. And moving forward, Immortals are so close to match point. They're going to go to Jim with the potential of bringing us there.
If you're Immortals in this situation, are you even worried? Even if you lose Jim, it's 5-4.
No.
You've won CC before.
Nope.
You've come back in a situation, Church. I mean,
Rogue's attacks have had no teeth so far. No. None at all. So yeah, no, I wouldn't be worried in the slightest if I were Immortals. No. Rogue have had, this is so weird because, okay, immediate history tells us that Immortals shouldn't worry, right?
Yeah.
Rogue, that's not Rogue though. Rogue is such a good team, man.
Yep.
And it's so weird to say that. I don't know, the way that this match has been playing, It's like, oh, Immortals is an amazing team. Rogue is an amazing team. What is happening this match?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Are they both sleep deprived? I don't.
No,
I don't know. It seems like it's mental errors more than strategy, really.
It's possible. I mean, the strategy has been really interesting from both squads. I say interesting because that's
not
polite.
Great way. Yeah.
But it's been better in some places than usual and worse in other places than usual for each team. I don't know. It's been such a weird day for these guys. No innocence at all. So it feels terrible, right?
Yeah.
That it's been playing the way that it has, but it is what it is. Haha. And Vertical looking to pressure into B. C4 from below. Or maybe an impact to open up the drop down. Yeah, it looks like an impact from below. So not a wasted C4. There are players inside of B. Vertical's going to see the angle from the tracers there, not land any shots, but he takes some damage himself. He will finally take out the Mute Jammer, which was obviously going to be dispatched as soon as there was no shield covering it. Cyber gets shuttled though, so it costs quite a lot for Rogue to make that happen. Candela's straight into sight. Is this going to be an aggressive play from Slash? He has control of Office. It's a good position. One unreinforced wall in the vault. He could turn this into a kill. He's waiting for Eclipse to drone him so he can actually get the frag. Justs doesn't see his prey. He could turn into the prey from the Predator in just a moment, though, if the melee hole is spotted. And oh, just misses the shots! Slash, no! He gets the down, but doesn't know it. And Navi's can be recovered in this situation. Candela's coming out to cover inside of Workshop. They do not hit the mark, though. Bullet completely awake. Slash will take out PX, so the smoke gone. Navi's is still on the floor. The mark comes out. That's 2 for Slash. An amazing round from the Ying. There's a castle barricade here into the hallway. M-King is watching on the other side. Sledge will be able to open up that castle, so this is good control for the attack, but they don't check main stairs. And oh no, M-King from behind, able to down the Ying. Vertical though, pushing into bathroom. He's gonna get one. Cyber goes down. Just the roamers left. C4 is gonna miss. No, it gets shot. Vertical, impressive shot there to take out the C4, and he gets bullet to boot. It's all up to M-King from below. No impacts in hand, but he only has to delay for 16 seconds, and he can't make it happen. Slashug locks out the round in the best attack from Rogue so far.
Good recovery, good initiative, good energy behind that attack, and it looks like Rogue has called attack timeout as well, considering Ranger is saying a lot of words into a microphone he usually does not have access to, and it's attack timeout for Rogue. Not really surprised. 5-4. You're still in a bad spot if you're Rogue, though. Even with Immortals losing that round, CCTV now opens up. It's a very successful round for them on that one. Then after that one, you can either stay if you lose it, or you can head downstairs, as that will also open up. If you're Immortals here, you have all of the cards stacked in your favor in the deck right now. It's going to be nearly insurmountable for Rogue to take this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like right now, the Immortals are in a really great spot.
Yeah.
And that's why Rogue's timeout here, perfectly called. I think this is the right opportunity to set up a specific strategy to win this. But, remember Oregon?
I do remember Oregon.
When the tactical timeout came from Rogue, it was on match point, and they could have won it. They were attacking onto the top floor. All they needed was an established strategy, something that would be hard for Immortals to counter. Rogue brought that, and it fell short. It ended up turning into a map loss, because following that failure from Rogue, we saw 2 rounds in a row for Immortals and an outright win of the map. Now here on map number 3, will the strategy that Rogue is going to have just established work out for them, or will it cause them to move on to match point? Only one way to find out, but it is a question that will linger in the air for the remainder of this round. I'm curious to see what the plan is for Rogue. Their operator selection that brought all of the hard destructors available, and they brought plenty of soft destruction, but lots of disruption from both Capital and Glass. It's overall very interesting.
I I'd like to know what Eclipse's game plan is here with the Buck, considering last time he was mercilessly taken out like last week's trash by Navi's on a run out through front door.
Man, you are being ruthless today. Mercilessly taken out by last week's trash.
Yeah, buddy.
You don't think that's ruthless?
Nah.
Okay.
It's fine. Eclipse will be fine. I'm interested what the pathing is going to be for Eclipse here, because last time around, like I said, he was out towards the reinforced walls. Okay, Vert's going to start things off, actually.
Remember when we said punish the aggression? He was peeking the window from workshop onto the roof. Why? I don't know.
Safe spot, Immortals. Why are you?
I don't know.
Swinging for the fences like that.
That's the top fragger from Immortals as well. That's Navi's, the man himself. Vertical. You know, honestly, I'm with. Okay. Just a little bit of an argument to be made here about a game mechanic that I would like to see.
Yeah.
Advanced repel, please, so you don't automatically get off of these repels when you hit the. Yeah, I don't like that it's automatic. It's like I didn't know how important advanced gadget deployment was until I had it.
Yeah, until you turn it on, you have no idea.
Yeah, and advanced repel would be great, so that doesn't ever happen.
I would enjoy that very much.
Yeah. Well, wall now open. Rogue doing their best to take care of the players inside of the catwalk. That was an excellent combination of the firebolt and slash. Nice shot through the smoke. Well done to Shuttle to set that up for Slash Hug.
Here goes your Raptors control. You've got a man flanking down lounge stairs right now, trying to push into the bottom of garage. Looks like a drone spot this out. The pre-fires give his way. His location is that's Bullet on the Jaeger. Stuck inside of lounge now. I believe with a punch hole up against the lounge wall. He's gonna get spotted, and Eclipse through the wall will bang it out. It's down to a 2v5. M-King on low HP as well. A frag grenade being cooked now by Eclipse will land perfectly on the Raptors, wading into his lab. M-King dispatched of. Now it's all down to PX in a 1v5 on CCTV cache, and he can't land the lethal blow that is required. Rogue, level 5-5.
All Immortals needed to do was play pass.
Dude, I don't know.
And they just gave away pick after pick. I will say, though, one thing that's really awesome, because this wasn't Immortals making a mistake resulting in the loss of the round. It was Rogue playing well. Here we go. The Capitao and the Glass. That combination inside a garage, that was so well executed. The follow-up of the grenade from, I believe, Eclipse.
Yep.
That utility use there, that setup, that was beautiful play from Rogue. And
that sequence is what we've come to expect from Rogue and just have not seen that today.
Yeah, it's what we expect from every team at this event, to be honest. And seeing that from Rogue, the way they executed that, they earned that part of the round, hands down. But this is really big. This is a really important thing. While they earned that part of the round, Immortals handed away the rest of it. I mean, we saw that peek from Navi's inside of Workshop. I don't know why he was doing that, but he did hand his life to his opponent on a silver platter. So it was partially Rogue with some amazing play to open up the garage. Also partially really bad play from Immortals. Oh, look at that. We're 5-5. What do you think, overtime?
Probably.
Or do you think... I mean, maybe. We'll see.
Knowing my luck from yesterday, definitely.
We're trying not to make predictions anymore because this match is just crazy.
Predictions don't end well.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
But yeah, that was some really great play from Rogue, and you have to hand it to them. While it's been a bit of a slog, the coordination there was exceptional. Now, Immortals, again, they need to lock things up. They need to stop taking unnecessary risks now. And this is the funny thing, is I've been saying the same thing for both teams. Yeah, it is back and forth and back and forth. One team is taking an unnecessary risk and losing the advantage. And then it's the next team, and then the next team. It feels like we're playing roulette right now, and it's totally random. But
Attackers dropped the
I don't know.
diffuser.
Anyway, Rogue now on attack of cash again. They just won it. They lost it the last time they tried here, so it's 1-1 result here for Rogue.
It's not a bad spot to be in, and Vert's going to do his thing as the Maverick once again, bottom of the portion of the CCTV wall. Just a nice little peek spot there, and there's no mute jammers, no bandits coming out from Immortals. They're clearly more invested in bringing other utility that will help them out, such as the Echo and the Smoke together, the Jaeger to stop the ADSs, or Navi's with the Valkyrie for some extra visibility. The big thing is how long can the Rafters control stay intact for Immortals, considering with the way that Shuttle and Slash executed onto this last time. If you're Cyber playing inside of Rafters, you're probably picking a different spot and trying to stay a little more mobile and maybe bringing a friend with you to repeat that.
Potential run out here from Cyber following the Valkyrie cam information. The C4 from below will go too far. Oh no. Unfortunate play there from Navi's. The camera's still available, and they're using it for marks, prompting the attackers and allowing them to know that, hey, somebody's looking at you. That was a really poor mark there from whoever committed to it. Navi's doesn't have a C4 anymore, so he can't get anyone on the balcony, but he could run out for a repel. He gets felled, though, before he even makes it to the repellers. Slash also taking out M-King in sight, so this is 2 for Rogue, and now they are so in the lead in this round.
Stacked up and going for a full garage presence take. There's not a lot left to be done here for Immortals unless they can remove that pressure from the far side. A crossfire, whenever they try to retake into CCTV, will be waiting for them. Well, at the top of the cache stairs will get droned out now. You can see all the pings coming out onto the members of Rogue inside a garage. The remaining 2 still outside the breach hole, but Cyber will take a very aggressive peek and win it out onto easily. Unfortunately, that was the Thermite who's already used all of his utility, and there are a couple of other operators you might want to take priority on. Time's still ticking away, nothing to be done here for Immortals other than stay inside of cache and take their shots where they can. Cyber will level things at a 3v3 now. A Slash will fall, and that's huge because that's the glass gone. You can't see through the smoke. A flank coming out from Bullet down below. No one for Rogue watching it right now. The call's coming out at the very last second, and it'll be a distraction. Eclipse will take down Cyber at the top of the cache stairs now. Is PX launching out his last remaining Toxic Babe. It won't be enough to stall out Eclipse on the plant. Reloading the SMG right behind the island, spraying frantically but unable to collect. And now making it to the top of Rafters is Bullet, but oh, he cannot connect. Everyone on 1 HP for Rogue trying to collapse down. It's Bullet pushing through, sorry, PX pushing through. Aaron's shotgun blast will not connect on a single target. Everyone below 25 HP. PX on a rotate. Makes it to the top of cache stairs and will have a breathing moment to reload and reassess the situation. One man on 3 different angles. One inside on Diffuser, one on his left on the breach hole, and one on the right outside of the CCTV window. It's the perfect crossfire situation. One will walk into the waiting arms. The second one for PX. Trying to go for 3, but there's no time left. He has to stick to defuse, and he's a little late on that, actually.
He won't have time at this point. It doesn't matter if he kills Shuttle. It's not going to mean anything. Just stat padding there for PX. I mean, a nice try, sure, but he waited way too long. When he was on that diffuser, there was 0 chance he could disable.
If he started disabling the diffuser as soon as he got there.
As soon as he got the second kill.
Yep.
If he got the second kill and immediately ran to the diffuser, he would have had time. And he probably would have gotten it too, all things considered.
Mm-hmm. Especially considering that window, the CCTV window, hadn't even been opened yet.
Yeah. Well, it's done now.
Yep.
And match point for Rogue. This is the most back and forth match I have casted in a long time.
It's, as Parker would say, it's a clown fiesta. And the clown fiesta will result in Immortals taking a tactical timeout currently to reassess their options, as they've kind of lost that huge advantage they garnered early on in this game, splitting 3-3 at the half on the attacking side. And yet when they moved to the defense, some problems arose. And now they stand looking at the precipice of being completely eliminated and joining their Latin American friends, Ninjas in Pajamas, riding the bench.
The way that these rounds have been playing out have been absolutely weird.
Yep.
Very weird. The word I'm going to use. Great job to Rogue there, though. Straight up just winning their fights. I mean, they had an excellent match in that round, or excellent result in that round, I suppose. And
yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to carry the momentum, though. I mean, we've been talking about the potential for just that to happen, but there's no consistency in the results here.
It's a game that is nearly impossible to predict, and it also has come down to elimination point. Rogue will have to attack the basement successfully to send Immortals home and have them be the second team eliminated from the 6th Invitational, or Immortals can stand tall inside of Church and Arsenal, force this to overtime, and then the coin flip, I don't even think decides this, which is so rare to say on a Clubhouse game.
10 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any logic to attacking or defending at this point. It just seems to be round by round who's going to make
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Who's gonna mess up the most?
Attackers are moving to the bomb and defuse it.
It's a. Yep. Anyway, Rogue now
Yep.
on attack, and they've again brought all the hard destructors, as you're going to do. They've got the Capital, so double smokes combined with the Glaz. This is pretty much the same lineup they've been running nonstop, and it's a very potent combination. The soft destruction, the Buck, also going to be very useful. Now, last time they attacked onto the bottom floor, they were unsuccessful, and the reason being they could not make anything happen on the church wall. They opened it up with some Maverick holes, but it ended up working against them more than for them, and that's the worst result you can expect.
The big thing will be the prioritization of keeping Slashug alive and in range of shuttle so they can use the asphyxiating bolts and smoke bolts in tandem with the ability to see through the smoke. It all depends on where they'd like to focus that push from, where the focal point would be, whether it be blue, whether it be dirt, whether it be just pushing down the main hallway at the bottom of main stairs and breaching open the church wall. Whichever direction they want to push, they need Slashug to be that piercing force through the smokes, angling through and removing anyone who's going to try and contest them.
And he has been that piercing force. He and Vertical have been fragging out quite a lot in this match and doing so much work for their team that, I mean, again, if it weren't, it's the same thing as like if it weren't for Navi's, this series would be over. Well, if it weren't for Slash and Vertical, this map would be over. So, actually, for Slash, the series would be over.
Yeah.
They would have lost it already. Slash has been playing amazing well throughout this series, and
Attackers have recovered.
yeah, he's been having a good one. So Vertical on that church wall using his gadget now, or waiting to use his gadget so he can open it up, use his teammate.
So instead of the Blackbeard tactic, they're going to do it with Glaz, with the smokes.
I mean, it works. It's the same thing, a one-way engagement through very small hole, but a debilitating hole. Very powerful combination here. Potentially, oh, Slash missing some important shots, though. You can't really blame him. Those are not exactly easy shots.
Oh my.
EX gonna take out Vertical, an excellent shotgun blast onto the Maverick, but it's gonna be a refrag for Slash, and he very nearly gets refragged himself. Not an easy situation for the Glaz to play. He also doesn't have any smokes any longer, so PX, last time he was on this wall, did a lot of work. He's already started with the kill, but can he do more? Last time, he was the reason the defense managed to hold this out. But this time, Rogue are diversifying their attack strategy and spreading thin. Slashug will go down to PX, easily takes bullet in exchange. PX is still the most relevant player on the defense, and he has gone undamaged thus far. He makes a rush, uses C4 to take down Shuttle. That's 3 for PX in this round. Eclipse pushing into blue, and he gets 1 before getting eliminated. A 4K for PX. His bullet goes down to a Lesion Trap. Immortals will keep themselves in this match, and we will go to overtime.
Time to see what the coin flip gives us. As we're at attack timeouts, there's no stopping this train. Best of 3 rounds. Are we going to have another map go the distance? Another 8-7?
I don't know, dude. There's a difference between one round.
I feel it.
So, like, either it's going to be a 8-7 or an 8-6. Either or, it'll be all but at the very least, we'll have all but one round played here. And
Coin flip
Immortals
is
won the good
Immortal.
coin flip, yeah. So they got defense first. Technically, you can't say they won the coin flip, I guess.
Not in this game.
Not in this game. In normal Siege, in normal competitive Siege, you would say they got defense first, they won the coin flip, but heck, man, I don't know. They are going to go to the basement, and they haven't lost basement yet. So I would give the edge here to Immortals. At the same time, you are going to see Rogue get to go to the basement as well, or wherever they please on the second round. So, yeah, and with Mortals, actually, to be honest, with the Mortals having very little success anywhere but the basement, they won cash once.
Yep.
But the other 2 defensive wins were in basement for Immortals, so this could be really bad for Immortals, theoretically. We can expect them to go to cash if it gets to that point, but we'll see. Basement defense, this should go Immortals' favor. What's been winning Immortals the basement? Just straight up PX. PX playing aggressively on the Maverick holes by Church Wall. That's it. Not just in that last round that we just witnessed, but also, yeah, also in the in the second round that Immortals went to defense of the basement. PX was the main reason that Immortals took it.
I'm actually very curious to see where Rogue will go on their defense, considering the only way they won downstairs was a 2v5 clutch by Slash with a Nitro Cell and then the UMP winning out on time. They also weren't all that great upstairs. I think they won 1 for 2 upstairs in cash. So after this round, Rogue will have a tough decision to make, but in the current round they're in, it's a pretty simple objective. Try and replicate what you did last time. Just don't allow PX to stand in your Maverick holes and blast you away one by one.
I just don't know how he keeps getting away with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing, is how is PX getting away with that? Well, you know, I would really like to see if Rogue adjusted their strategy, because they've done the same thing every time they attack the church. Maybe hit Arsenal. I mean, there's a soft wall there. Look, just bucket from above. Eclipse can do that. Once he opens that up, you've got easy access to Arsenal. Maverick can open the drop down. Go for a different attack strategy. Why not? I wonder if they'll do that though. M King has been down. He will be picked back up, back on 50 HP. Bullet will eliminate Vertical. So bye-bye Maverick. No. You know what I think? I think that the attackers just made the call to do exactly what I was saying. It was like hit Arsenal.
Yeah.
We saw Maverick starting to open up the drop down, but because that drop down wasn't opened, and now cannot be opened because there's no exothermic charges, you can't do that anymore.
Good luck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's no... You can hit Arsenal, but you can't hit it through the drop down, which is a really important, near essential access point for any attack onto that site.
It's going to be Na'Vi standing tall in combination, in tandem with PX's. It's coming down to the dying moments of the first overtime round. Rogue need to find a way to convert. They have some utility and some smokes, but they're getting shredded apart as they try to rush through. Bullet will grab one onto easily. Slasher just trying to push the main hallway, will whip out the PMM. Instead, push straight through. Eclipse will grab one, and no, Slash cannot land the shots. Another one from the Toxic Babe. Will drop Eclipse, rushing straight through into Church. Shuttle will grab one, but disoriented, choking on gas, diffuser in hand. There is not a lot to be done here for poor old Shuttle, who's made it into Black Box, but 75 HP, it's not going to take much here to stall out the round. 2 Yokais bearing down onto the 416, connecting on the head. Immortals, once again, match point, series point, Rogue facing elimination point.
So close to the end here for both teams. And Immortals, the ones that put themselves up. But here's the thing, Rogue get to defend now and go to any site that they please. And Immortals have to defend a second time to win it. Immortals haven't been looking very good on any other site besides the basement. So if Immortals, or rather, if a Rogue can keep their cool, then it could very easily still be their match. But they have to get to that third round in order to get the win, which means they have to defend basement successfully. We'll see if they can pull that off right here and now. Based on the current record of basement, I would expect Rogue to be successful in this endeavor, as it looks like there haven't been any successful attacks on the basement. So yeah, that would have to change right here and now in order for Immortals to take it outright.
I was gonna say, most likely means we're heading to an 8-7 final scoreline. We'll get another round after that, but we have said multiple times over, let's try not to make predictions in this game specifically.
Yeah, it just
God only knows.
AD is active in the sector.
yeah, I'm with you, man. The predictions here are
Useless.
I feel like if I make a prediction, the opposite will happen. So I'm just not going to.
Yeah.
Attackers recover
So,
the diffuser.
PX is going to be pushing his way into tunnel, as is evident, thanks to his drone's positioning. Means that we'll have very likely an Arsenal pinch or something along those lines. But Immortals is going to have a lot of options with Maverick and Thermite both. Habana's definitely... missing Habana is definitely going to suck, but you can make it work without her.
He actually Swiss cheesing the end of the dirt reinforcement wall, and it looked like it was Slash. I'm actually not sure who was in dirt looking to contest those holes, but after about 3 or 4 of them got opened up, it's easily.
It's easily, and he's got a yokai drone to boot in here, actually. He's only put down one of his yokai drones, so he really needs, yeah. So he's aware of this. He needs to put down the second one, just in case he dies. So it's still useful in terms of information. And he's going to do just that. He's going to put it deep in Arsenal. It's good. It's good. Just gotta make sure it's on that.
Located.
There you go. Okay. So if he dies now, his yokai drones will still be useful.
I have a feeling PX thinks he's being sneaky right now, and he's going to walk into the waiting arms of easily.
Depends on if he drones it or not.
True.
It looks like he's leaving as well. I think he's just opened that hole so they can use it later. We saw that happen from Immortals last time they attacked the basement. They opened the hole and then hit it much, much later.
Yeah.
So.
And that was when Slash 2v5 clutched.
So we'll see if they do actually. But yeah, the fact that Rogue had to clutch the last time they were here, it does say something about the potential.
It's a little concerning.
Yeah, Immortals could lock this out. We'll see. Navi's pushing his way up to the motor door. He's going to put Claymore down, trying to negate that aggressive play from the defenders. Jordan going into the site. No open drop by the bar. That's unfortunate to see. 2 exothermic charges still in hand for M-King. This is curious. There's only a minute left. No matter what, you're looking at some late detonations on those thermite charges.
Special charge.
I'm going to try and push through this, but the impact trick will stall out M-King's breaching progress. Didn't actually clock how many impact nades they have left.
This is why you Maverick the kitchen drop and open the bar drop with the thermite. But they did half and half, and then they wasted so much utility. And they're also wasting a ton of time. Look at the clock.
You still got 3 Toxic Babes, you still have 2 Yokais, you still have a Nitro Cell, a myriad of Leisure Mines all strewn across, and you've got 4 inside of either Church Hall or Moto. Cyber's just gonna push through the Toxic Babe and spam at Eclipse and not land a single shot. Oh my! Through the smoke kill, down 1, Bullet will trade it out, and Bullet with 2. Slashlight trading out Cyber immediately, down to a 3v3 as they all circle around the back. Oh no, a team kill from Slashlight, and Slashlight will fall down to the 3v1. It's just easily left alive with the Yokais. Watching for the plant. Navi's gets the plant down. It's down to a 1v3 retake scenario for Easily to keep his team alive. In behind Black Box, he won't land it. Navi's and Immortals will send Rogue to the bleachers.